Hello, hello. But hold on, water isn't next to me. Real quick. Okay. So what did we get done last time? We got to blue science, not blue science. We got to purple and yellow science, the initial batch of them, which is a decent chunk of what we need. But yeah, we need to set up the actual builds at some point. I'm not sure when. We'll have to look at. We'll have to see when we can get assembler threes, I guess, before we can actually set those up. But yeah, we'll need to do a very large yellow science build, or yellow assembler build. Green assembler build, whatever you want to call it. I'm team yellow assembler, but I get both. I understand both. It's a very greenish yellow. But yeah, stage burner version 100. There's no sound, right? There's sound. Just gotta hum. That's not even like the soundtrack. I don't know what the soundtrack for this game sounds like, to be honest. I hear it a lot, but I can't really hum any songs from it. Well, at least not when I actively think about it. Okay. So yeah, also the stages kind of got a bit unnumbered. We're on like stage 3.4 right now. We have not split this section up at all. I'm very much... Wait, those aren't my socks. What? Those aren't my socks. Why? Ah, I see. I typed the sock command instead of the edit command whenever I edited it. There we go. There we go. Now people can get the accurate depiction of what my socks are, because very, very important. Very important stuff. Yeah, we have red chips. We got to... Okay, we didn't actually do... we didn't actually finish these, but this part's pretty straightforward. So those are going to be easy to set up. We just need... honestly, we can probably do them here. Maybe we can even reroute this. But yeah, we just need a little bit more robot frame production, which I think is pretty straightforward to do. I imagine, yeah, probably here would be decent. Because let's see, that'll get green chips from here, which is... Technically, we're not producing any. I think that's because this is set up wrong, though. Yeah, okay, that's just because this doesn't have an input. That'll work. Okay, so those hopefully will start working then. This is not connected. Why? Is it flipped the wrong way? Probably. It's usually flipped the wrong way. Actually, I don't really see what the problem is. Ah, there we go. Okay. So hopefully we start getting... Actually, I should have made that much lower layer, shouldn't I have? There we go. Okay, yeah, I'm really liking this mod. It's nice. I mean, it makes sense. It was made for this... explicitly this purpose, but it's very good at what it does. Okay, so we're not producing these for some reason. Oh, yeah, that's because we haven't actually chosen where these will go, so they're not fully hooked up. That's fine. I don't know why green chips are there. I don't think it hurts anything. No, it doesn't hurt anything. It just wastes a few green chips. That's fine. We need more. We need more RoboFrame production anyway. I think we can do without... I don't know. I think we can do without modules here, or we use entirely prod modules, but we do a double lane here because it looks like we will have space to do the double lane. I think that requires more engines though, which is unfortunate because they're kind of annoying to set up. But yeah, we need a larger RoboFrame build, which kind of has to go here. Let's see. This has more than enough pipes. More than enough pipes and gears, probably more than enough circuits. Yeah, I imagine there's plenty of circuits as well. Now let's send this to the same layer so we can move it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, pipe should be plentiful. Yeah, there's more than enough to supply this. We can probably do triple that because we do have a very significant amount of pipe and gear production. Most of this goes into steam turbines. So the more we produce here, the less steam turbines we produce, but I think the number is... I think it's a pretty insignificant hit, because this has like an entire belt of pipes going into it or something like that. It's pretty significant. So if we take away like one height per second by adding like 5 more engine assemblers, we should be fine. So I think I would like to use this space right here for more RoboFrames. We just need to figure out exactly how we're going to do that. Also, these don't connect up to the main lane, which is kind of annoying. Let's see, does it matter? Actually, wait, can you have different logic at different levels with this mod? I'm not sure. I would guess no, but let's try it. Oh my gosh, you can. Okay. That's... we need to be careful about that, don't we? I mean, I guess... yeah, we need to be careful about that. Which makes sense because you can have them as separate in the blueprints, but I wasn't sure if the mod accounted for that because I, wasn't sure if they actually use that in runs. Okay, so this part's a bit tricky. What I could do is loop this up. And I think that would be fine. Then we could sideload it here. Which side is it on? It's on the inside, so that goes here. Perfect. Okay. We could also possibly have like a splitter, but this basically just makes it that any leftover RoboFrames here can instead be sent up towards yellow science. And it makes it that if this stalls, we're fine. But honestly, I don't think this will stall. The reason it stalled is because we have 700... we've made 700 robots without actually like sending a robot out because we're in editor mode. I think that's unlikely. So it's probably not a concern. These do not seem to be working that well, but I think that's just because they just all started up. Or we broke the logic. No, I'm pretty sure it's just because they all started up at once. Yeah. So they had burned through their buffer. I think on average, the throughput should be fine. I hope it's fine. We should be able to get like half a belt of everything, right? With the way it's set up. Or almost half a belt. And there's no way this consumes 3 of anything per second. Wait. That's not right. I accidentally got the robots in there. I did that and then immediately saw like a number 4. Was confused. That's 1.8. But it looks like we don't get enough circuits. But that's enough circuits to run this full speed. And obviously this can't run full speed. That's insane. 1.5 RoboFrames per second. We produce 0.6. So yeah. That means this is only consuming about one green chip per second. So yeah, we're barely getting enough, but we are getting enough. Okay, so I would like RoboFrames here. That means we need more engines here. Okay, yeah, we should be able to get like the extra that we need. No problem. I think that'll work. Looks like there's enough space for it. Okay, and then we also need rails. And we need red chips. Let's do red chips because I think that's a more interesting build. Okay, so red chips are weird because they use a lot. Like we need like 50 to 100 assemblers, which is a lot. That's a lot of red chips, but yeah, we just need them for various things like beacons, more blue chips, stuff like that. And then we also need them for the red science itself. We can probably also supplement RoboPorts, because I imagine we'll need some more of those at some point. Because this does not feel like enough RoboPort production. Although, I don't know, we're producing a lot, right? I actually don't know how many RoboPorts we're producing. 1 per 4 seconds? Yeah, that doesn't sound like enough. I really don't know. I mean, I guess that's like 900 an hour. Do we need... I guess it comes down to, do we need like 10,000 RoboPorts? I feel like the answer is no, but I don't actually know. We haven't placed any in our base yet, so they're just kind of gonna fit wherever feels right. Okay, but red chips need green chips, so we have a good green chip build. That's this one. Now this one's awkward because it's iron limited. So I think what I do is I do a max rate calculator and then I scale it to 7.5 iron. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Does it? 12 uses 12. Is it that iron limited? Is it really that iron limited? Okay, so yeah, these produce at like 70% speed. Okay, that's really bad. So this is 16.2? Is it, or is it copper limited? Wait, what's the bottleneck here? It's a very weird bottleneck. This isn't that helpful, is it? No, it is not. Okay, this says it uses 7.5 iron per second, but uses 16.2 plates per second. So yeah, we're... Do these work at half rate? Is that right? That doesn't sound right to me. Is this not in power? What's the problem here? I don't think this has an accumulator. Something seems off right now. I could have sworn that they ran a little bit better than, like, I knew they were limited. I thought they were like 70% speed. Are they really half? What do we need for this? This would be analysis zone. It's a little over half. No, it's basically half. So this is really running at half speed, but it's like a weird mix of iron and cable bottlenecked. So I guess either way, it's kind of doomed. Well, now these don't have red chips. Now they stalled, so this was a useless analysis. Okay, let's look at one that runs full speed. Because maybe the direct feeding isn't great. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because the direct feeding does save a lot of inserters, but at the downside of idling the machines a lot more. But like, you're going to be inserter limited anyway. So like, I think max I can make this run at 70% speed. So like, I'm looking at it like it's a 50% speed, right? So I'm thinking of it as I'm losing half the efficiency, but I think that's unrealistic. I think really I'm losing out from like 60 to 70 down to 50, which is not nearly as drastic. So that makes it a lot more tolerable. Yeah, because the max throughput is 70% of the machines with the way we have it set up. Okay, that's way more tolerable then. We can justify that. Okay, but that means we need to do some math though to scale this. So this is 17, let's call that 17.5. It's really close. And we're scaling it down to half a lane of iron, which is 7.5 over 16.2, right? Because we're limited. So we're actually producing, this can produce up to 8 circuits per second. Is it really that low? Okay. Oh, that's because this one isn't designed with the double lane line. That's why. I was like, I could have sworn we had done one that was this wide that produced about 12, and we do. It's just the other lane. So this isn't even the one we need. We need this one, which is way nicer. I mean, it has the same inserter limits. It just uses a full lane of iron, I think, or a half lane of iron, and like a 2/3 of a lane of copper. Yeah. Direct feed is weird. It makes it really hard to estimate things. That's what I'm realizing. And then we somehow stalled this. So how do we fix that? How do we fix this? That might work. That doesn't go anywhere. That's not what that's supposed to be. Very confused. Ah, there we go. That's what it's supposed to be. And then one of these is supposed to be coal, I imagine, and one of these is supposed to be iron. Actually, I don't know what this top layer is. I don't know what either of them are, but we'll figure that out. That part's not important, considering we won't have these magical connections anyway. It really doesn't matter. But let's assume this produces... Well, now we have a different number, don't we? No, this is still 12. Okay, so let's say this produces 8.8 per second. Let's try to get the inputs for this, because I want to actually confirm that. See, where do we get the iron for this? That's from here, right? Yeah, okay. And then we also need the fuel lanes, which for now, since we're just testing things, we can paste them on the top, no problem. We can also do way more infinity chests this week than we need if we really want to. Okay, this will let us test how much we're getting. Let's use a regular infinity chest. I don't really know what the advantage of the... I don't really know what the advantage of these ones are. I don't really see a difference between the two, other than it's slightly larger. And then we need an infinity loader. Okay. So these are somehow running, but they're not. Is it just a coal latency? I think it's just coal latency. Yeah, okay. Let's just make it as fast as possible. Okay, so we can just run this for a bit. Once it gets started, time how long it takes. Maybe we run it for like 30 seconds or something. Because I don't know if we actually get 7, what was that? What did I say, like 8.1? 8.1 circuits per second. It could be higher, it could be lower. It's really hard to say. The max rate calculator does not account for like 3 things working not at full speed. Okay, so let's see. We're at the 15-second mark, right? 8:53:45 or 18:53:45. So let's see. If we run it for 15 seconds, that's 128. Actually, we don't even have latency accounted for that, but I mean, that's about 8. So, I mean, that's what I expect, right? So that's probably reasonable. I think we can live with this. Okay, so that gives us 8. The only reason I had to do that math is because I needed to find out how many we need for the red chips, because these will actually not be limited by inserter speed. These are limited by belt throughput. I wanted to know how much we needed per belt. So we'll probably actually cut this down by like 10%, use not a full iron lane just to get exactly one half belt of green. That's probably the easiest course of action, and we might actually have leftover copper at the end to do the wires for this, because I imagine we could do this pretty well integrated. We'll have to see though. Okay, so yeah, let's plan the row around using an entire lane of green chips, or a half lane of green chips. And that does bring up another question. Is there any reason to ever use modules in red chip assemblers? Probably not, right? I don't think it's that useful to have like prod mods, right? Like the increased power consumption for how little you get out of it. I don't think they tend to be worth it for how slow they produce. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we can look to see what the... You know what? Hello, Deacon. Welcome, welcome. We're doing some burner designing today. Not like it changes, but yeah, we're doing some burner designs today, and I'm trying to decide right now if how large I should build it. Also, you know what I'm also realizing? I've just been pasting like the other base as a blueprint, but honestly, with how long it takes to paste the blueprint, it would be faster for me to just make a new file called, let's just choose this one, test one. It would be easier to just make a new file here with the blueprints already there. Because yeah, it's faster to load a new game than it is to paste a blueprint, especially since I always have to explore. Okay, we should have it here. I think this is a slightly old version, but I mean it works. Okay, let's do up to 4.3. That should be fine. Yeah, and this is why it's faster. Let's just paste it there. We cut off a bit of the train, but that's fine. But yeah, this is why literally loading a new file is faster than this, which is, I don't know, it's probably 30 seconds at least to paste a blueprint, especially the large ones. Maybe I don't think it's that high, but yeah, it's more than I would like. Okay. Why is this sped up so much? Also, why do I have so many stages? Oh, now I have to merge them. That's fine. Your PC seems to become a serious bottleneck. I mean, part of it is because we're pasting blueprints in the staged mod, which just makes it like 3 times slower. to do anything. So like that's mostly it. So in our actual editing thing, when we have like 10 stages, pasting massive blueprints is, you know, a lot worse. It won't be nearly as bad in the run itself for pasting large blueprints like this. It's just in the stages, because it's almost like this isn't designed for running. But like my PC is perfectly fine. It's just, you know, we're kind of pushing things to the limits with pasting this times 3, like 40,000, 50,000 entities, 100,000 entities. It's hard to say. It depends if we can like repurpose stuff or not. We have like 40% of the... We probably have like 40% of the base built, but we can also start to repurpose a lot more things, so really have no idea. We're on pace, but we can't really put a number to it. Not easily, at least. I'm trying to see right now if they use modules. Wait, they have more blue science protection? Jesus. What science per minute do they go for? Like theirs is way higher than ours, so like we don't need all this expansion. This is just wild to see this much expansion over here. We do need more. We will need more yellow and purple science, though. We also need to do military still. But yeah, I think this will be enough, because we only need... Let's see. Let's do max rate calculator real quick. Yeah, this is producing... Wait, what? Oh, that's per minute. 1.5 science per second. Seeing as our goal is like 3 to 4, we definitely don't need this and this build, which is another 2. So yeah, they get up to, I think, 6 science per second in their run, which makes sense because they have to produce... Well, okay, technically they produce less science, but they produce it in like a third of the time, so like it's hard to compare. But yeah, the important thing is their, let's see, normal 100 design. Okay. This should be perfectly fine. Then we don't need to have modules. I mean, we could have modules. I just don't think it's really worth it. Oh, we have no real reason to. Okay, so without modules, how much can we supply? I think it's 30. That should be, that's 32. That's a little high. If we're going for 1 full lane, which we won't be able to get a full lane, so maybe I do 31. I mean, we can get like 99% of lane, I think. So like we could probably assume it's 30, or at least close. Okay, so I'm really hoping that the copper works out, but I don't think it will unless we use modules. This uses 15 copper and 7.5. So this is 7.5 copper per second. Is the ratio perfect? Can I get enough out of this copper lane? Because that's basically what I'm going for right now. I want to be able to get enough out of this copper lane to saturate a belt, which we'll see. That might not work. Also, having this weird gap I don't think is going to work either. We'll probably need to fold it, but that's totally fine. Like, have it wrap around. Because let's see, these do not run full speed. However, they will be delayed for a little bit. See, I think this is the ratio we need. Kind of. So if I downgrade all of these, which I won't in the actual run because that just wastes coal, that gives me 6 steel furnaces of extra resources. Okay, I don't think this is... If this works, it's going to take a really long time to work, so I don't think... Like, while I think 2 full belts of... or 1 full belt of copper is enough, I think we just run into... we run into balance issues if we try to split it on the same belt. So we would need a splitter at the beginning, at which point it doesn't really matter that much. We might as well just send some here instead. Have a new copper lane. Because it really doesn't matter that much, but I would rather have it, you know, actually work and not have to buffer 24 furnaces worth of copper before it starts running. That's a lot. Okay, and then these aren't running full speed. These we can estimate it at about 80%. So this is how many we need for a belt, but we need another like 3. Let's try 3 on each side. Let's see if we can get that to work, because that would be cool. It fits pretty nicely. That's a good start. Now, the tricky thing is that we need to get coal from here, but I think we can do this. Okay, that actually works really good. Because we can get the iron through here. Do you keep track of how many lanes of solid fuel you need to fill a burner inserter grid? It seems to be quite a big number. Coal is since we produce that on the edge, that's something we can't figure out until the end, so there's no point keeping track of it at all. Doing it as we go doesn't help. So it's just something we'll be doing at the end based on what feels right, probably. But it's not like, until the base is actually done, it's not like there's anything I can do to help with it, right? Like, I don't know how many lanes are going to be in that row, so there's no point in planning it ahead of time. This is just an output. Why do I have that there? But yeah, I will be keeping track of it at the end, but we have to have our whole base fit in first. And since coal will always be produced on the edge regardless, I mean, I imagine coal is always going to be produced like here, here, or here. It'll be easy to add. You sure hope you'll get enough coal lanes and oil? Oh, I mean, that's not an issue at all. No, that's not a concern. There will be enough. Because the thing is, you only need about, I mean, at a steady state, you only need about 5 lanes. 1 lane of coal for every 5 lanes of resources, 4 lanes of resources. There's more than enough oil for that. That's not a ton of oil or salt or coal. If I was just doing coal, we might run into issues, but since we can use solid fuel, we really won't. You do not need a ton of oil to produce that much solid fuel. You need a lot of assembling machines, but you don't need a lot of oil. Okay, but this I think is on the right side. Okay, that's good. Actually, I don't think I like this. Because we need to sideload coal down here, or fuel down here too. I might actually sideload it. Unfortunately, we don't have the space for that. That's a bit awkward. Yeah, availability of coal is not something I'm too concerned with. The only thing that matters is that if we can get like 8 clean lanes of coal from the starter patch or near the starter patch, after that, nothing is going to make a significant difference that it matters. Because remember, this isn't a optimized world record speed run. So having things be 30 seconds farther does not change anything, which means oil is always going to be easy to work around if it's slightly in the wrong spot, because it's not going to be that far, right? It just might add like 30 seconds of walking and like 40 extra undergrounds. Okay, so how can I do this? Well, this won't be on the coal grid. Does that simplify things? No. I really wish the rate calculator worked. It would be so nice right now. Okay, so if this isn't on the coal grid, I think we just need a tile gap here. Like, it's on a grid, but it's not on the main coal grid because it's up here. So yeah, it's got to be on its own separate coal grid, which means coal distribution is going to be weird. But I guess that's not a huge issue. The thing right now is I need to figure out how to get this copper over here. Oh, wait, we could do a splitter here. That could work. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Because this does not have much leniency. There's no space here. Unless we move it down a tile or up a tile. But neither of those are that great. We could just do this. That's not a bad option, actually. It's the same it's the same footprint. It's exactly the same footprint. The only downside is that technically it might start a little slower, but also might start faster, depending on how long this coal takes to distribute. So I think this is the strat. However, does this give me enough stuff? Let's see. Also, we can cut... I said I can cut this, right? Because we said this gives me 8. We can cut... What's 11 12s of 8? Okay, so I think because I rounded down with that, we can probably get rid of this. Make this a little bit more compact. Or we can send the green chips elsewhere. But I don't think we really have a use for the green chips elsewhere. Yeah, let's just make it smaller. Because this should be a full lane of green chips. And the reason that we have it double-sided is because we don't actually really need to. Also, why do I have the splitter here? What the heck is that? Why can't I just do this? That's why I have the splitter there. I see. That makes sense then. I was like, this seemed like an obvious fix. Surely I would have thought of that, and I did. It's because it doesn't work. Alright, so this should be fine. It's not perfectly balanced, but it doesn't need to be. It's 22 furnaces. We can actually... Okay, what's the cost of a steel furnace? This is a weird... It's pretty expensive. Oh, okay. It's like 50 resources. This is 5, so it's 10 times more expensive. But it uses twice the coal. Because I have this option. I can save... I can do this, and they will run perfectly fine. With the downside that it uses 50% more coal forever until the end of time. Is it 50%? No, probably more like 30%, but yeah. It just makes it that the whole set uses more coal. I don't think that's really a bad thing, because it's not... I don't think that's a lot of coal. But it is something to consider. To make it slightly cheaper. We very much have this option. And we can do that any place that we have the cable assemblers, because that should still run full speed with more than enough, right? Because it's a 3-to-2 ratio. Right now it's a 2-to-1. This makes it exactly a 3-to-2, I think. Yeah, this makes it a 3-to-2 perfectly. Maybe I'll experiment with that, because it's a whole lot easier to downgrade them. To upgrade them if I change my mind than it is to downgrade them later. Now if I do this, we might actually have enough copper left without having the split lane, right? That's 10.12? What if they're all upgraded? I think we don't have enough. I think it's like very close, but it's not. What the heck? Why isn't that working? Max, oh, they don't have recipes. Forgot about that. It doesn't just assume like one resource. Okay, this should work then. Nope, does not work. We need more copper. Those are iron plates. Okay, will this work then? Okay, hopefully that's enough. There we go, 13.7. What? Oh, because this is 11 long. Okay. But these do run full speed, right? Well, it's hard to say. I could give them productivity modules. I'm trying to get this down to exactly 1 belt of iron, and I think I can do that. It's just really hard because nothing runs full speed, so all of the estimates are wrong. But we could use like 1 productivity module and every wire assembler could work. That'll give us just enough iron. I don't think this makes the distribution easier though. So maybe it doesn't matter. Because this is 10. So what we would need to do to make this work is have this continue on and have a compressor at the... Yeah, no, never mind. It's not worth it. I mean, keeping these as stone furnaces probably is, but the rest of it, not important. Okay, so let's make this run by reversing all of them. There we go. Okay. Now, we don't actually have a way to get the circuits out, but I'm pretty sure that's super easy. Yeah, okay. Getting the circuits out of here is not a problem at all. I don't know why I thought that would be one of the concerns. Okay, so this is just 1/2 belt. So something like this, and then we also need plastic production. Okay, so plastics are weird, because plastics need actual coal, which is a bit annoying. And if you want them to run full speed and use up an entire lane of coal, you can't have them use the coal for outputs. But I think the difference is negligible. So one way you can make up for that is by using prod mods. Also, is it worth modulating plastics? I don't really know. Someone at some point ran like some kind of calculations to see which modules are worth it. But obviously that's for a real 100% run, which is like 5 out. That was for like a 5-hour, 6-hour estimate when that one was run. And this, we obviously do not have that. Where is plastic produced in the actual base, by the way? Does anybody know? Because I haven't actually seen plastic production, like, anywhere. But obviously, okay, so there's some here. There's no way this is enough for the whole base, right? Wait, is it really? No, no, there's more. There has to be more. Because that's 12. That uses, okay, so that's half, which means there has to be another one. Maybe down here? If I press H here, does that do anything? Probably not, because it's such a convoluted sushi belt. There has to be more plastic somewhere. Maybe from the other side. It's probably on the other side. Because there's sulfur down here, which means there is fluid here, so there could be plastic, because they already have the pipe. Seriously, where do they produce it? I'm very confused. And because it's like a messy sushi belt, it's really hard to track down belts. That doesn't help. Toggle hover mode, that is literally doing nothing. Okay, good. Gotta love Where's Waldo. Is it literally right here? Oh, it's literally right there. I wasn't good at Where's Waldo, okay. I just assumed it would be produced elsewhere. Well, that's easy enough. Oh, and then they have one belt of coal going in. Okay. Yeah, that's straightforward. Okay, so we can make do. It doesn't look like they use modules, which makes sense because plastic is so dirt cheap. Like, nobody cares about coal. I mean, I don't even care about coal at this point. We use solid fuel. I still might have to do like one module assembler and one, like, I think I'll have to do one speed module and one prod module solely so that to make up for the fact that I'm consuming the coal that I'm using. I'm consuming the coal that I'm using. I'm consuming the coal that I'm using to output. Okay, so how much does a plastic assembler produce? It's like 2 per second, right? That's 2 outputs. That's annoying. Okay, so we actually haven't had to make any kind of compact plastic lane. We've only had to make one that is for hand building. So let's see. Wow, yeah, I don't have anything. Okay, so one option, very basic, coal grid. Let's use the coal grid as our basis. That is always it's always a good option. Like, it's never really going to be bad. And it lets us do this, which makes it an even better option for plastic. So coal grid looks very very viable. Like, very very viable. So we can probably do this. This is pretty compact, actually. It's going to be tough to beat this one, I'm pretty sure. Of course, it's its own coal grid because coal comes from the sides, but that's fine. Okay, so this is one option, very compact. Let's add outputs, or not outputs, but you know, the fluid inputs. Yeah, literally the exact opposite of an output. There we go. For now, we're just gonna snake it around so that way it's easy to add coal. We'll probably do it a different way in the actual run. There we go, and then I could use an infinity chest, which I really should put these on my hotbar considering how often I use them. This, honestly, even one with solid fuel would work. Let's do that. Solid fuel. Perfect. Yeah, we use these way too often for me to set them up manually every single time, considering how many hotbar slots we have. Okay, but yeah, this is a very solid design. I imagine we can probably snake them through better if we reroute some of these. Like if we stagger them, we can probably do a pretty easy snake. Pretty compact. Other option, have coal going down the middle and then plastic outputting from the sides. I think the advantage of this one is just build speed. I don't think there's any like real advantages to this one. But it's literally just a rotated version of it where the inputs come from like this side instead. So this one actually might be, oh wait, it's rotated the wrong way. Has to come from this side, so that way we don't have inserter outputs. But yeah, this has the plastic output to the left. I'm not sure if this is more compact. It looks similar actually, which is more than I thought. I think this one works better hand building, or maybe since it doesn't go on the coal grid. I don't know. It probably has an advantage. I just don't know what that is. But this seems viable so far. Okay, so this is 8. But then you have to sideload everything in the middle. I guess that part kind of offsets a lot of the savings because that's a lot of entities to combine the belts. You can double side it this way though, which is nice. And then just kind of like meet in the middle. And then you still have to send them down somewhere, but you at least save one vertical belt of coal. But I'm not too enthused on this option actually. Doesn't seem great. Because mostly this section at the end I don't love. If these are undergrounds, this section is a little bit less awful. It can go here, but I mean that's not too different. Okay, and then let's go with this option. Let's paste it 4 times just so I can get an idea of how big it is. So basically our options are... Huh. This looks a lot larger. Maybe... Oh, wait, this can use a red belt, though. With this one, we can use a red belt and make it really compact. Because this is just red belt for an output, and then we split it, which means we can very viably use a red belt here. So that would be here. This should be a little bit over 15 per second, right? 30 per second. Yeah. So this should saturate the whole belt, too, which is nice. I think we can even have the red belt start there, which might help. Okay, so this option is pretty solid. Is it getting enough coal? Also, this isn't supposed to be solid fuel. This is supposed to be coal. I think we can make this work. If we can get the coal to snake, I think I like this option. This one looks more compact somehow, though. I don't know why. Oh wait, how much coal does this use? I think they both use 1 belt of coal, right? Yeah, they both use 1 entire belt of coal. This top one really looks better. Oh, I think I know why. That's where the compactness comes from. This needs an extra tile for the coal. And then, yeah, okay. That's where the extra comes from. Also, I just realized something, which I don't think it makes things that much better, but it's a little bit better. We can perfectly fit those in there. I really like that. Okay, and then realistically, which is more expensive? Probably I would want to tessellate it on the... Why did I delete the other? Whatever. I probably want to tessellate it this way. Actually, no, that makes it harder to split. Because then you have this weird thing in the middle that you would have to balance, probably with red belt. That's the only way I see to tessellate it. However, this way is better in terms of undergrounds, but yeah, I don't think that's that important. Let's keep it at that staggering. But yeah, basically my revelation is we can have the outputs in the middle, or the inputs in the middle, which is very nice. Wait, how do I flip these? Is there a fast way to flip a bunch of chemical plants? I think a blueprint does that, right? Yeah, you can flip chem plants with a blueprint, but you can't flip inserters, which is weird to me. Yeah, this should tessellate pretty easily this way. Perfect. And then this is supposed to be the coal in the middle. So this is like some weird snake we have to do, but I think that's fine. So coal will definitely come from the side, and then it goes up, and then it snakes through here. Okay, this is using a lot more entities than I thought it would, but I think that just happens. Yeah, that's bound to happen. Okay. Yeah, either way, we have to use a lot of entities here, so I think the undergrounds on the inside are still a good idea. But we'll see. Maybe it's not. It does have the amount of pipes, though, which is good. It's like that, I think, alone makes it worth it. And then we send it back up top. Okay. So this should be fine. And now that you have a basic one, we can give it coal. See if it actually works, which it will never work because we haven't given it petroleum, but that's fine. Okay, when we actually have it looping around, we do have these like edge cases, which I don't like. Maybe there's something we can do with the pipe to get rid of this, because I think if we rotate these edge ones, I think things look a lot nicer, and we can make this more compact, because I think that would be worth it. Although I don't really see a vision for how we can attach the edge now. So it doesn't feel more compact, because the alternative is this, right? Yeah, those are the same amount of tiles. It doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter. Okay. Input, input. None of those are inputs, as always. Okay, that looks good. You know, we could technically sideload this, and it would probably work, but I don't think I like that option. We could also use a splitter. I kind of like the idea of using a splitter here. Because if we use a splitter here, that makes it that we save 2 tiles on the edge, and I really like that. Or we could do the others, or you could do that on the other side. But either way, if we use a splitter here, we save like 2 tiles of like vertical coal space, which might not matter, but I'm going to keep it there because I think it's a good option. Also, it would decrease the start time a little bit. Maybe. I don't think the start time, nah, that's not a consideration that matters. Never mind, let's not worry about that. Okay, and then this probably is unbalanced, right? Yeah. And then we have a lot of entities we can save, which is nice. This is a very weird pattern, I will say that much. Very, very weird pattern that's kind of hard to drag and save entities on. Well, we could save a couple more entities here and there, but I don't know if it's worth it. Is there any way... Like, can I move this over? No, I can't move this over. Can I move this over? Yes, but that doesn't do anything. Maybe. I'm trying to see if there's any way I can move them to get a side load here. And I think there is, if we do something like this. Oh, that's better. That's a lot better. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Okay. And that's something we can paste down here too. Ooh, and if we really want, we can do one outputting on the bottom and one outputting on top. That makes it pretty compact. And then we don't have these undergrounds in the middle. I don't know if that's better, but it's an option. Let's see, what would be the advantage? Outputting on the bottom means we already have a bunch of, we have half belts. Outputting on the top, though, we need a side load here, which I think we can do that. Okay. This gives us a full belt in line. So, okay, there's no advantage to outputting on the bottom in this case then. I don't think. Okay, so this works I think this works decently. Let's connect it, see if it actually runs. But I'm pretty sure this isn't one of the harder, this is one of the harder things to mess up, I would say. So it's gonna be broken, isn't it? After saying that. Let's move it down to power. Also, I left all of these inputs on top. Would that have made things simpler? Is there something we could have done with those? I don't think so. No. Though I do see a possibility of having plastic go through this middle section, although I don't think we can actually like side load there. No, because it's going on both sides of the belt. It would be nice to save this tile, but it's really not. It's not that critical. Okay, so these aren't running, which is weird. Oh, neither of them are attached to power. They're just attached to the infinity things. Or the infinity substations. Not the accumulators, though. Okay, this does not have any coal. Okay, we're missing coal on all of them. I'm glad I did not make a pattern yet, because we forgot literally half the coal inputs. Or I'm glad our pattern worked out, I guess is a better way of phrasing it. Okay, so this should be plenty. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. We haven't really used that one much. Okay, so this gives us 32 per second. Perfect. Okay, so this will power 30 and 30. Okay, so we can do 60 red chip assemblers. They have 96, don't they? That means okay, so after looking so hard for plastic, we didn't actually find all the plastic. That's what I'm realizing. Oh well. What now? We don't need this steel lane, I don't think. I'm not sure what that's for. And then we're still kind of building off to the side right now. Okay, so this is not in line, which is unfortunate. Let's see, this makes... We need 2 of these. So this is for 30, this is for 15. It might be better for me to redo the plastic to try to be the same width. Because right now we're looking at something like this. This is how wide the green chip and cable build is going to be regardless, I think. We can't really make it less compact unless we stack it. But the plastic build only goes half that. So we just have this wasted space here. So it might be worth making it a little bit less compact and just having it sideload, just having it output like this. It does waste a little bit more pipe, but I mean, the overall footprint is, you know, smaller. I think having whole segments be like one square or like a rectangle is way nicer than having a segment be like an L or some weird shape, because it's really hard to fit in like a new segment into the middle of something, especially with burner inserters, because you can't really do that weird of designs when you have to get coal everywhere. But I don't think that matters that much right now, so let's keep going. Let's just send it down just for testing purposes. Split it off. Send it through. Also, our inventory is full. Okay. Now for red chips. These are not going to be output limited. I think it would be very hard to be output limited, right? Yeah. Actually, wait. Is it hard? I don't think it's hard. Oh my gosh. Wait, is that what... They have more than an entire red belt, or an entire half red belt of red chips. That's wild. I mean, I guess it's not that much. It just feels like a lot. But we can do... Wait, this isn't 46. This isn't 60. This is supposed to be 60. And then one extra one awkwardly on the end that we might cut depending on belt saturation. Okay, so 60 isn't exactly half a belt. That's nice. Now we have, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier, I want to have this have the same footprint as the rest of the build. So that means we probably are going to fold it into 30 and 30, maybe like 4 rows of 15. Honestly, I don't really see a vision where we can make this the same footprint that doesn't just feel super super snaky for no reason. So we can now split it in half again. So to make it the same height, we would need to make it... These aren't even even. But basically 8 rows of 7 to 8, which is weird. What space do we have to work with? So this is going to be right here. That means we have all of this space to work with, which we literally have no other plans for. Maybe we can just try to fit red chips. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe we try to fit red chips vertically here instead. And then no idea what we're going to do about this section. It just kind of exists. I don't really see a vision with it. We also need more blue chips at some point. We definitely don't need these. So let's move these up. Okay, get rid of those. This is just a placeholder, right? Yeah, this can be deleted. Stage move, delete. Okay. Yeah, basically we need to supply 60 red chip assemblers. It really looks like this vertical space is the way to go, which seems weird. It's the first vertical build we've actually... It's going to be the first vertical build we've made in the whole run, which is fun. But since we're off the coal grid, it doesn't actually have like a major disadvantage. Honestly, if we can fit it in this blueprint right here, that footprint, that would be very nice. Let's try to copy this space right now. Get that negative space to work with. It's roughly this size. Okay, if we can fit it in that size, we should be good. Okay, so this is 30. That's 46. Okay, 30. Now, we have 2 inputs, 1 output. So, first things first, let's just try, always test with our coal grid pattern. See if we can get that to the right height, because that obviously makes things very nice. Because even if we don't have the coal grid, it is a very good pattern to use. Okay, so that is 16. That looks like it would barely fit. So we might be able to do that. It doesn't work though, double-sided. I mean, it does work double-sided, but it doesn't work great double-sided. You can't make it as condensed as you would want to when you double-side this stuff, at least in the middle. So we would have to add an extra tile, but it looks like we could make the coal grid approach work if we want to get 60 in the middle. Now, what are our other options? We could output... Well, I imagine we're going to want plastic and green chips coming this way regardless. Self-feeding would be bad. Sushi would be bad because this is like 300 inserters that we'd have to put on logic, which is not really great, right? Because we need to double up the inserters for this, don't we? Actually, no. If we could get 1 inserter per red chip assembler, that's not that bad. However, then we would have to do a coal lane. But yeah, we could possibly do sushi. Let's see. Sushi would be 1 lane, 2 lane, 3 lane. We would still need 4 lanes. Okay, so sushi doesn't really... I don't think it's going to benefit us. I think we just do our basic approach here. Because it's not like direct feeding is helpful because everything is so slow producing and slow consuming. Let's remove unfiltered items. Okay, so yeah, let's just get onto this approach. See how it works. We might be able to do a slightly more condensed one. Let's see. Well, we need 2 inputs and 1 output. So we probably can't make it that dense, right? Yeah, so this is the closest pattern we can tessellate with this. Unless we have an input coming from the side, but I think that is the whole self-feeding problem all over again, and we have throughput issues, so yeah, that doesn't work really well. So this is the most condensed we can get it with this pattern. Unless we stagger it. Which is an option, because this isn't hand-fed. However, I don't think staggering it really has a benefit here. Also, that didn't even stagger it. It would need to be staggered like this. Can this reach? I mean, it can reach. I think staggering does work. It just doesn't really... I don't think it simplifies things. Okay, so let's just get coal here. Now this is the tricky part. I haven't double-sided this before, so I don't know if this will actually work with the approach that I want. Because this would tessellate on this pattern. We need a splitter in the middle, which is a lot of splitters. I don't like the idea of this many splitters. I mean, it's not a problem, I just don't love it. However, how do we grab from the other side with this pattern? I don't think that's possible. Also, no, this uses a full belt. Yeah, this should... Okay, I think we... Maybe if we stagger it. If we stagger the sides. Oh, but then that makes the coal distribution harder. So that's not necessarily a good option. See, does this work? No. Don't know what I thought that would do. But it does not work. I think the way that I have to make this work is to have it be 2 tiles away, right? And then we do a double splitter. This one's not awful. This could work. I really feel like there has to be a way to get these on the same belt, on the same splitter. Does Factorio have 3 wide splitters yet? when is it going to add those? Because those would be super useful. But yeah, this could work. We could also try spaghetti. We could also try sushi. Not sushi. Sorry, not sushi. Belt weaving. Can we do any fun thing with belt weaving here? No. Well, we could. The problem with belt weaving is that inserters have trouble grabbing from red belt at low density, so I guess we can't really belt weave. Like pretty much anywhere with burner inserters. See, I think I wanted to do snaking. I mean, this would be better than belt weaving, but it's still not great. Wait, hold on. What if I like belt weave, but don't grab from the belt weave? Is that an option? So like now my vision is this, right? So something like this. And then the belt weaving is here. Wait, I might be onto something. It might be too large. Oh, this works, right? Oh, I hate it. Oh, so it doesn't work. Never mind, it doesn't work. Because this doesn't actually go to the splitter. It almost worked. Can I make these a tile apart? Is there any way to add a gap between the two? I don't think there is. The reason this one's important is because there's going to be like 100 more of these, so I want to try to get a design that's good. Otherwise, I wouldn't care that much. What about alternating filters? Alternating filters is tricky because they can't grab from it consistently, so you lose a lot of throughput in the beginning. So I think I haven't really tested it, but you basically run into the same issue as a red belt because you can't grab from the splitter. You can grab before or after the splitter, which I might be able to make the pattern work. Actually, I think you can only get that pattern to work if you don't have them, if you have them be self-feeding. Because I've tried something like that before, and you have to do the splitters here, which doesn't work on the coal grid pattern that I have. So they would need to be self-feeding or manually fed. Because if you try to grab here, you basically, the inserter doesn't activate until the resource is like on the first half or the second half, so it doesn't have enough time to grab it. Actually, coal would be a good way to show it. I'm not sure. Maybe the side affects it. Ooh, at high saturation, it might be fine. Okay, so that one doesn't work. That does work. Never mind. I was gonna say if we are careful about the side, but it's double-sided. If it makes it substantially more compact, though, it might be fine. Let's try it, see if we like it. Because we can do a test. Like we can easily do tests to see how much it fills up. But yeah, we actually in our first attempt at this, or no, when we did this for any percent, we actually used that. Well, any percent. It was more like New Game Plus. We did that for labs because it works really well for the first 3 sciences. Now we're just using sushi, but it was a pretty good approach for sciences if you have them on like self-feeding logic. But obviously the issues were at low saturation, so we might be able to have this work well enough. So let's try it. Let's do, okay, so that would be one side is cable, one side is not cable. Okay, and then we need fuel. Doesn't matter which fuel, it just needs to be fuel. I don't really know how UPS works with splitters. I've heard splitters aren't that bad. I don't know if filtered splitters are somehow worse. That could impact my choice. I'm not sure. Because we're basically, the choices we have right now are twice as many splitters or filtered splitters. I have no idea what the impact between the two are. Okay, and then this needs to be 30 is what I said, right? 30 total for the set. Maybe we won't have throughput problems. We probably will, but I'm trying to be hopeful. Maybe we won't. Okay, let's actually connect it here. And then the only thing that matters is we have to connect things to the correct side, which we did not. They're literally all wrong. Fortunately, that's easy to flip. We do have to clear the belt by hand now. Oh, we're in map mode. We're in map mode. But yeah, this is this is what I call a long inserter. This is how you turn burner inserters into long inserters. It's a fun approach. This isn't set up correctly. Oh, we copied the wrong blueprint. That's why. I was wondering why we didn't have an output. Okay, let's see how well these run. Then I guess we go into a chest. There we go. Give them some time to level out because it's going to take a bit. Is this built wrong? Yeah, the inserters are the wrong. They're in the wrong spot. Whoops. I forget the pattern. I think. Oh, that's why. When you do this approach, I think you have to stagger where things are. Okay, so that's how that one's supposed to be. Okay, we just literally had them all staggered. Good thing this is something with blueprints, because I would not want to hand build this without blueprints. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. It's kind of hard to visualize which way they're supposed to go. Okay. Hopefully it works now. There we go. Okay, so these first ones, as expected, they're working just fine. These end ones aren't powered. Okay, the saturation is starting to drop. My math is right, right? I am not getting a full lane of green chips out of this. Something's wrong here. There we go. I guess the green chips will be a good test for this, though. Yeah, we forgot a splitter. We were missing like half of our green chips. That makes so much more sense. It's like I knew our math was very rough, but I didn't think it was that bad. Because we just estimated it using like, we just said 60% speed, which was a guess of 15 and called it good. Is my math off? I don't think so. I'm not used to seeing 30 long red chip lanes, so it just feels wrong. Honestly, it works well enough, I think. Maybe it's fine. We might have to clear the belt and find out, though. Because if it works at like 95% speed, I think that's okay. Because we can just cut one. We can give it a module or something and just pretend it's fine. Because I like this a lot more than the underground approach. How would I UPS test this? Do I need to UPS test this? Probably not. I don't think filter splitters are that bad. Of course, that is a complete guess. Wouldn't it maybe fix itself if well, it doesn't fix itself. It just isn't as bad. Because if the belt is backing up because it's not running full speed, it's gonna get like small bursts where it stops running full speed briefly and then starts running full speed briefly. But it fixes itself well enough. It's like you don't lose like a full assembler, but you still lose like a little bit. Kind of like with smelting lanes backing up with the resources. Like you, at the end of the day, you're still probably getting like 98% of the resource production, so it's fine. Nothing to stress about, at least. Although this would explain why it's running as well as it is. Mystery solved. Okay. This looks so cool, though. But yeah, if it doesn't fix itself, as long as it mostly fixes itself and isn't worse for performance, I think we're good. Honestly, it does like a solid enough job, though. Maybe these are a slow enough recipe that it doesn't matter that much compared to like a faster one. Because like if it misses the first like 4, it still has like what, 8 seconds to try to grab something before things stop running. Yeah, okay, I think we can live with this. Let's leave it running. Let's see, this is supposed to produce 3.7, right? I don't know how we're gonna test this. We're just gonna look at the numbers. It would be nicer if this was on its own file. A lot nicer if this is on its own file. I'm leaving this running for about 30 seconds of game time to make sure I at least get most of the production. 120. That's not even close. Okay, I think the belt latency is too low to do a test of 30 seconds, or too high to do a test of 30 seconds for this kind of build. I can count, right? Okay. So this is fine. Now we need 2 of them, right? So 2 of them should work pretty well. We don't fully saturate one side, so that doesn't really matter where we sideload the red chips. Now, how do we snake the solid fuel through? Because this is no longer on a coal grid. Oh my gosh, wait, how much do we need for this? How high is this? This is 28 times 15. Okay. Let's pull up the calculator for this. 20, what numbers are these? 28 times 15. 420, nice. Blaze it. Plus another like 100. So let's call this 2. Let's say we need. Let's just round it. Let's say 600. We need like 2,400 coal for this. Okay. I love burner inserters. They're so fun. You get silly numbers like needing 2,400 coal to start a lane. It's fantastic. Okay. I am really realizing something. We're trying to fit into this blueprint, and the resources come from the top. Hello, B-Craig. Welcome, welcome. Okay, this might be a little bit weird, but what if I, like, split it? Maybe I should just split it down the middle, and then have the resources come from the middle. Because obviously, sending them from the top is not a good idea right here, right? Like, we have wires and green chips are literally perfectly in the middle. No idea what this is. Oh, this is the blue chip output. Okay, that's gonna be fun. We'll connect that. Okay. This seems reasonable. Now, coming from the middle, what options does this give us? Okay, so this is going to be lower. This is going to be lower. That means they're both pretty close to the middle. This doesn't divide in two, does it? I don't think this really divides in two. Not evenly. Because we have 28 on top and 30 on the 32 on the other top. Yeah, one of them obviously connects through here and the other one connects. Do I loop it at the end? Is that the strat? Maybe I have one go through the middle, and or maybe I just say screw it and use 20. Maybe I just use 30 extra undergrounds. Because I think at the end of the day, it doesn't make a huge difference. Because the other option is we split it in the middle. We probably loop it around like this. And we have them attached in the middle. Starting time-wise, this is better. Space-wise, this one's better. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't make a huge difference for either. So let's see. What is 30? What's the start time for this? That's like 15 seconds. Yeah, that's fine. 15 seconds of extra belt travel. We can live with that. If it makes it this much simpler, at least, we can live with that. Okay, now coal. Coal's tricky. Also, we need to snake the coal. I'm imagining, let's see, how many inserters are there? 3, 16. That's, yeah, okay, we can probably do it with one belt of solid fuel snaking through. Let's see, where do we have a coal snake? This probably doesn't have extra coal. We might be able to get coal from all of them. Like if we combine them into one, that could work. That's a very possible option. Also, have I connected these yet? No. Okay, so we don't need to worry too much about the specific connections. We're just trying to get a general idea right now. Plastic's coming from the top. And since plastic is coming from the top, we can just use like a splitter, like a side loader. How many inserters can you support with one solid fuel belt? A lot. It's a lot of inserters. I was just trying to get an idea of how much like backed up I needed. It's also hard to say because they're not running full speed. But basically, if this is 360, so we basically need 1200 solid fuel before they all start, is what I was trying to get an idea from. So what is that, 1200 divided by, let's say 15? That's a minute to start. It's not going to be 15 solid fuel, but that's not too bad. But if you're doing constantly running inserters, we can say they're like 70 kilowatts probably. Actually, no, is it 40? Oh, I think it's 70. They last for about 100 seconds, right, from one coal. They're about 60 kilowatts. So one belt of solid fuel is like a lot. It's like 180 megawatts or something like that, which is enough for like a few thousands inserters, something along those lines. 2,000 to 3,000 inserters. But that's assuming those inserters are constantly running. Half of these are running once every minute or two. The other ones are only running once every like 2 seconds. So they're running at like a third speed. So for this one, we could support like 10,000, probably. 10,000. I wouldn't want to support 10,000 with one belt, but we could at a steady state. It would just take really, really long to start 10,000 like that. I wonder. I think we'd be better off if we send plastic down onto the green chip belt, right? Is that a bad idea? It's on the wrong side of the belt. We can also only do that for the first one. But like, I see a line here where you can send plastic down through this and then meet up on the end. I don't think it works because it's the wrong side. Or I don't think it works that well. But I did want to unfold this and make this wider. which does change things a little bit. I don't need to snake the belt around, do it. Well, I still need to snake the belt around. Yeah, I think one-sided is the way to go here. Just in terms of how wide the builds are. Like, this is perfect. This is almost the perfect width. So I think this is a good option. And then we can keep the same the same inserter pattern here, I think is good. Now we can either use a splitter or we can loop it. I don't think it really makes a difference here. I think looping is a little bit better than using a splitter, but maybe. I don't think it really matters. Either way, it's going to prioritize. Like, either way, they're going to start up half at a time, so I don't think it matters. Yeah, we don't need to stress about that. Let's just loop this up. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. It's not like we can use this space anyway, so that's not wasteful. But yeah, my idea here is we're sending all of the plastic down anyway, right? So this is 8. So I was thinking we could just send this down and then sideload it onto the blue chip or the green chip belt. But that really does not seem like it will do anything, because how am I going to sideload it onto something that's outputting onto the other side? But I think sending it down is the strat. Wait, that's the wrong side. There we go. There we go. We'll worry about entity savings later. That gives me a full belt of plastic, which now we can distribute. And honestly, if we send this up, we could probably just sideload it conveniently, like right there, which I kind of like. I'm just trying to get like the horizontal things aligned right now. Do things get simpler if I have the outputs on the outside? I guess right now I have on the inside. Oh, because that saves like 30 splitters, right? 15 splitters. That's why I have them on the inside. Because I was thinking, what if we just have them outputs here and then all the inputs in the middle? Or other way around, sorry. Inputs on the outside, outputs in the middle. But that uses a lot more splitters, which I think is bad. It does make this connection easier, but this is really the thing I should care least about. We could do one on top, one on the bottom. That might be a good idea. I don't think, well, in terms of plastic latency, it probably doesn't matter. Instead of green chip latency, I think splitting it is good. So maybe we send one down and send one up. It's like one goes here, one goes here. There isn't a good way to attach plastic this way, which is a bit annoying. It's going to have to be like a really awkward underground. Oh, I don't like that. These belts feel so long, but I know in the grand scheme of things, it's not. Like, a 15-second extra start time is not going to matter. I mean, it takes so long for coal to get there. I don't think plastic taking an extra 15 seconds is going to make or break anything. Should I try to stitch these together? I think I need to try to stitch these together now before I get any farther. I'm just kind of dreading it. But yeah, it has to be done. Okay. So this is the weird part. We're aligning this with something very different. So let's line these two furnaces together. Also, the alignment here doesn't really matter. Wait, what's that? What's on the lane above? That is an infinity thing. Okay. We can delete that then. I'm trying to keep these furnaces aligned, but it doesn't... It's kind of hard to do because of the weird spacing. Okay, so this goes here. I don't think we broke anything with this. Yeah, that should be fine. I think we have enough bricks here. We have steel furnaces. Or these aren't steel furnaces. These are electric furnaces. Also, are we using our entire lane of bricks? I think we have a little bit of extra bricks that I wanted to turn into steel furnaces, which I'll probably do here. Let's just leave those as a placeholder right now. Okay, so steel is tier 4. Why are we building steel first if we don't have bricks? That's literally useless. Okay. We should really just paste these earlier. But these are simple enough to connect. These don't have any way to get coal. Are these on the coal lane? These are on the coal grid. Okay. Interesting. Right, it doesn't like, the stage mod does not like infinity. Infinity chests, infinity loaders. We just have to give it a minute. It works itself out though. Usually. Hopefully. I mean, if not, we haven't done anything too complicated today, like to rebuild if it crashes. Although we've also saved recently. Fairly recently. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, the stage mod is a lot more brutal than I thought it would be. I don't know why. Like, it's literally just rendering like 10 stages at once. Or, yeah, like, that's a lot. Okay, so steel, okay. We'll worry about the connections later. They're going to be messy, but they don't have to be clean. Like, we have all this space to work with. It's going to be great. Okay, so steel fits in there. LDS will fit right next to that. LDS, I think, is direct fed. Oh, right. That's why it's so messy. Because we tessellate on, like, a really bizarre pattern. Okay, so LDS will be after steel. That makes sense. Now this one we could paste we could paste this in a lot of spots. It's on its own pattern, so it really doesn't matter where it goes. I don't really have any vision on what we can put here. So that's going to be fun. Or at least it's going to feel wasteful forever. Okay, and then I think we copied the splitters down when we did that, right? Okay. That's pretty compact. They're not... The edges don't line up perfectly, but that's because every single build has to have a different, like, alignment on the right, so we can't really, we can't really make this a straight line. It really doesn't make a difference, because, you know, it doesn't really matter where we connect... Where we connect the resources, right? Like, we'll see these undergrounds and we'll connect them. Like, they're within, like, a few tiles left or right. They're just not going to be perfectly aligned. Okay, but now that that's hooked up, we should... I think this is everything we need right here, right? Blue chips. This is enough blue chips, right? I calculated that by running the max calculator. Although I did it with the assumption that this is running at like 80% speed, which I don't know how accurate that is. I think that is a very wrong estimate. Actually, wait, let's see. This says it's using 7.5 iron per second, somehow. Oh, that's because I copied the furnaces. I think this is not producing as much blue chips as I want. We might have to do another one next to it. This probably is not enough. How do I test it? Also, these aren't even running. Oh wow, let's start to land. This is... I guess it's not that bad. It just feels high because I just pasted it. But I mean, it's only a few minutes. That's pretty standard for burner stuff. For things to take like 5 to 10 minutes to start. Which is why, you know, we just get the fuel built ahead of time and then it's fine. Or sent along the belt earlier. No idea what this is, but that's not a good conflict. Cool. We have a lot of issues with editor extensions. That's what I'm realizing. I think I need to stop using editor extensions. It does not... It breaks things constantly. Also, these arrows are still here. Don't know how we're going to fix that. But yeah, these produce at like 80%, 70% speed then, which is very unfortunate. Then we don't have enough. Where can we get blue chips from? Do we just make more blue chips? I think we just make more blue chips. Do I make them across? Also, does this, can this get double-sided? I think it can double side, but it's not that much better. Honestly, yeah. We might as well make it double-sided because the red chips won't fit anyway. Okay, yeah, let's just do more. Pretty sure this is pretty easy to flip too. There might be a more elegant way to double-side it that saves outputs. See, what side of the belt does this go on? I can never remember. I'm really bad about that. Okay. So if we double-side it, that means we can remove this middle section, move them one tile closer, and then share the same output belt. Assuming this is not used as an input belt. But yeah, something like this. So yeah, now we copy it, we move it down one tile. Then I think that works. I do not remember where it tessellated though. Is it here? Okay, and then there's literally no reason to have this as a regular pipe then, or an underground pipe. We might as well save the iron and not use something that is, I think, 15 times more expensive. Actually, that's for a pair, 7.5 times more expensive. Does this save entities? I think it does. I think it's the same amount of entities. Yeah, it's still 2 entities per. Okay, so this doesn't save entities, but they're cheaper entities, and it should output on the correct side. Okay, that looks really cool. I really like this. I like this a lot. However, it doesn't work, which is a bit of a problem. I don't know why. Did we not copy the infinity? Oh, we didn't copy the infinity thing. That's why it doesn't work. Yo, what's up, Summer Showers? Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for the raid. How are you today? What were you streaming? Does this work? I feel like I'm missing something. I'm doing pretty good. We're mentally overloaded by this mod or this challenge idea. It's fun. Ooh, Warptorio. Warptorio is awesome. That's I really like that one. It's a really cool, like, mostly vanilla feel, but it had so much. Also, it made me realize I'm terrible I'm terrible at buffering stuff. Yeah, so this is I will be doing burners only, but using entirely, I'll be getting every achievement in one stream. So we're working on the blueprints for it right now. So it's going to take about 12 hours, I think, probably. That's my estimate. We did it once before without blueprints, which was even more, oh god, let me tell you. It took 30. Also, this mod doesn't like me pasting things and starting, so we just have to give it a bit. The staged editor is very performance intensive. It's really cool, though. Okay, usually it doesn't take this long. Hopefully things work out. If not, what did we build? Have we saved recently? Yeah, we'll be fine. We have autosave on, right? I do have autosave. I'd hope I have autosave on. If not, we can rebuild everything. We haven't really built a ton. But yeah, it's I think it's a possible goal. I did some UPS tests, and I think I can get enough green chip production. If you haven't done 100%, or if you haven't seen a 100% run in the game before, the hardest achievement is getting the 20 million green chips. Because while that's not hard to do casually just over a long period of time, doing it fast, it's like 90% of the resource requirements of everything else, which is a lot. In the real runs, they do that phase in like 2 to 3 hours or something like that. I'm pretty sure they end with a peak of like 5 to 10 million green chips per hour, or probably higher. Not higher, it's probably like 5 to 10 million. But with burner inserters, because they're so bad, I expect to be performance bottlenecked at like 4 million green chips per hour. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I will be doing this, working on the designs for a bit. Looking forward to it. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks for the raid. Have a good one. But yeah, anyone else who just joined, we do meme run Mondays every Monday. I've been working on plans for other meme runs other days of the week, but we do dumb stuff like this all the time. I've actually started editing them down too. I have my second one. Hopefully we'll release at the end of the week if I can get motivated. That'll be fun. But I did a mouse only challenge, which was really fun. We've done like everything invisible, variations of burner only, everything randomized. Lots of really dumb stuff here. We don't tend to do that many normal playthroughs. They're always dumb in some way. I need to stop pausing it. Why do I keep pausing it? Also, it would probably help if we tone it down. There we go. Okay, so this is much nicer. Are these self-feeding? And even more importantly, can they use the same belt of resources? Yes, okay. That makes things way nicer. So fuel will probably come from over here. It will have to. Oh gosh, reversing these belts. Wait, we can't. Those are the ones we need to reverse. Is that why it broke? There we go. Okay, hopefully that reversed it. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Right. This is on the wrong stage. Stage move tool, send here. I'm very much looking forward to connecting everything. That's gonna be so fun to send coal around. We've been slacking on it. Let's just put it that way. We haven't really officially connected anything yet because there's no real point before the run's done. Everything's just using infinity chests, and yeah, it's gonna be quite the adventure to connect it all. Also, this literally uses up half the red chips we're producing. I think we need more red chips. But that's fine. We can worry about that later. Now we're on the correct stage. Also, these are gonna get in the way. Do we just delete them? I think we just delete it and maybe see if I can put it somewhere else. I could use an inserter here. That might be a good idea. If I use a stack inserter to deliver fuel instead. Then maybe move this down here. Send it down and send it across. Okay. Stage move tool. Remove all of these because we're going to start pasting things next to it. There we go. This is such a cool mod. Okay. So this should be... Okay. I really hope my math is right. It was very rough, but I think it was a very rough estimate, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate. Also, these are very similar in width, which is very good. That was our goal. I just wasn't, we haven't confirmed it yet. So it's good to know that they're the same footprint. Okay, now we also needed to connect coal. Okay. So snaking the coal, now that we're off the coal grid, snaking the coal is generally better. But I don't really see a line where we can snake the coal unless we snake it through here. That seems like a bad option. What if we use a splitter? Because we basically have two options here. We can either snake the coal or have a splitter at every single row. Snaking the coal, I think, is better for distributing stuff, just because it's easier to tell where the bottlenecks are. And I think it's a little bit better for performance within like an individual grid or an individual build. Which is why we've kind of been getting off the coal grid, because it's starting to like matter now. It's great for starting stuff. It doesn't matter so much anymore now that we have bots. A lot of them. I just don't see a way to snake the coal. We can snake the coal through here, which is good, and here. We can't snake it here. I mean, I guess that's something. That lets us snake it through half of it. We could also, wait. We can snake the coal if we change where this coal sideload is, or the copper sideload is. I don't like that, but it does work very well, so yeah. I mean, we might as well do it, right? This has to be moved. Oh my gosh. I really hope this is correct. Okay, this gives us snake room. Awesome. Wait, we can't snake around the top though. Does this matter? Wait, we can snake around the top, right? Yeah. Yeah, we can snake through the top. Never mind. That's fine. Okay, so this needs to be moved down. This does both sides evenly. Perfect. So we get a perfectly even split. Now, I think if we do it this way, we need to change which side the coal goes on or change how we side load. Yeah, we need to change how we side load the resources. Maybe we can, well, okay, there's a snake here. So yeah, we need to somehow side load it down here. That's rotated the wrong way. Okay, so this actually needs to go the other way. That's awful. Wait, actually, that's genuinely awful. This isn't really designed to work like that. So it needs to go like this, and then this needs to output here. This is on the wrong side now. So it needs to look something like this instead, which I don't think inherently is a problem. It just means we need to be very careful if we copy this later. Oh, we have a second build. There's two of these. Should I try to keep them on the same coal grid? I guess it doesn't really matter. Because we could probably simplify things a lot if we can keep the coal snake between the two of them. Although it looks like spacing wise we might have trouble with that. No, I think we can live. I think we can make that work. Yeah, okay. This is a mess, but I mean that doesn't matter. We have blueprints for that. We'll be able to like unfold that too to make it like more in line. Or we could just have random things sticking off of our base. Like we can make whatever work. It'll be great. Does this benefit from being flipped? I want to say no. Because either way, it outputs stuff basically in the middle. The only thing flipping would do is make it easier to manually hook up the resources, but we have to do that anyway. So yeah, I think we can take a shortcut here and we can just keep them the same direction. But yeah, we have to connect everything manually, so that's fine. Sometimes I avoid flipping stuff just to make manual connections a little bit easier. It's usually not a huge deal, but like if you have like a double-sided lane and you flip it, then all of the coal belts get flipped too, right? Like if I have this and I flip it, I have to manually flip every single coal belt. So unless it has a really strong benefit, I don't want to have to do that if I can avoid it. What is this? What is this? Does this do anything? This doesn't look like anything. Was this the original copper lane? I think this confused us earlier the other day too. Oh, it's this thing. Yeah, it was for the other lane. Okay, so we should be... Yeah, I don't think we need that copied. Okay, so snaking the coal around. Let's see, where do we go from? Wait, I don't think we can snake through here. What is this? What? I don't get why this is in both of them. I'm really curious what it was a part of. I think it's because I copied and pasted it. I think it's just a second copper lane. I don't think it was... I think I was supposed to cut and paste. And I think that's why it keeps confusing me. But yeah, that's fine. This can be compressed? Maybe. No. I don't think we can get the throughput to compress it, right? Yeah, no, we can't get the throughput to compress it. Not over here, at least. Unless we did some weird stuff with the coal connection, but I'm not that concerned. Not concerned with that. Okay, and then this one is the new coal connection that I don't want to have to set up, but we have to. Okay, so let's move this. Just in terms of the compressor, that will make things easier. So we need to copy this and paste it somewhere here. And then we only need the top half of this, which is this one. So I think it goes like this now. Yeah, yeah. So we can snake the coal through the middle. Okay. So far, so good. Do I have a pattern that I want to keep with? I don't think so, but let's try to keep with one anyway. There we go. And now this goes down. Oh wait. Could I have made it work with fuel on the other side? Did I have to flip the coal lane? I don't think I had to flip the coal lane, did I? Let's see. Where is this line up with? Okay, I had to flip the coal lane. That wouldn't have worked. Okay, we're good. We did not waste that time. Always love when you don't waste time. If anyone hasn't messed around with burner inserters a lot, grabbing from corners is not good. They have trouble doing that. I will make exceptions if they're not self-feeding, but if they're self-feeding and they grab from a corner, there's a good chance that the inserter will die. Like a very, very good chance, especially with a furnace lane. So having it here would very likely destroy the inserter if you get copper and coal at the same time. You would have to make sure fuel comes way sooner, and it would be not something you can control very well with bots, so I do try to avoid that if I can. Okay, so it looks like we can get a lot of solid fuel over here. And then, how many inserters is this? Okay, this is just the inserters for transferring from the furnaces, so the fuel requirement isn't that gonna be that high. So I think we can snake through the entire build just fine. And then these can be deleted. I think our snaking requires us to change all of the outputs, which, oh wait. This is fine. This is fine. We don't need that splitter there. I hope it's actually fine. This design only needs half a belt of resource or half a belt of green chips, so I think we'll be able to manage. And then we should still be able to snake through here. Okay. So we don't need the splitter in the middle. We need to turn. We need to move literally everything though. Maybe we should have done it one at a time and then flipped it. Realizing now that probably would have been helpful. It's a little bit nicer because these are some manual fixes, but it's not too bad. Okay, that looks good. Now we should be able to snake the coal through. Then unfortunately these are not going to be full drags, but we're going to keep them as straight lanes. Perfectly straight lines that require no mental effort to turn into undergrounds. I think I'll leave those as late as I can, because they're very good ways to tell that things are not broken, and I don't really want to mess with that. Also, I think to snake it, I have to do this. This doesn't work. We can't snake this. Actually, wait, can we? Hold on. We might be able to. What side of the belt does this go on? That goes on the right side. Technically, this works fine. It does have a maximum throughput of half a belt, but this does work. And then that goes on the inside. It's on the inside. It gets side loaded. Okay. I mean, I don't really see a huge disadvantage of this. Now, if I am limiting it to half a belt, I should probably not keep them on the same snake. But it's not. Yeah, I think it's something we can work with. Okay, and then we sideload it. I wonder if there's another option. Like, can we move the furnace? Probably not. The spacing there is pretty tight. Oh, and now, wait, what? That felt like a different pattern. No, I just built it wrong. Okay, that makes more sense. I was confused how it got off the pattern there. Okay, one more side load. Now is the tricky part. Wait. Is it the tricky part? I wasn't considering how we would handle the end. If we flip it, we might no longer be sideloading it perfectly, though. So if it goes down first, and then up. What side of the belt does it... I mean, I guess that ends up the same. It's just staggered, right? Yeah, it's still down and then up. So I think it's fine. But yeah, I'm realizing now we have to flip the starting direction. So yeah, everything is now being shifted over like 90 degrees because we need to change it to make it that this one ends down here instead. Actually, does that fix things? If we end up here, yes, it does make a difference. Okay. Cool. So this goes down, then around. We'll just do a small section to make sure it actually works before I get too committed to the idea. That's on the... This is on the inside. Then we snake it around, go back up, inside. Okay, we should be good then to flip it. This is so manual. Yeah, this is good. We're gonna have to do so much of this once we actually finalize the base. It's gonna take a while, like a long time. It's gonna be like an entire 2 days, maybe. Entire 2 streams of just connecting fuel. Fortunately, it doesn't matter that much. I don't think. We just need to make sure everything's are connected. Like, we don't need to stress that much about it being perfect, which helps. But yeah, it's gonna be like 2 days of fixing coal. Okay, now we can snake it. Oh, what did we break there? It did not like that smart belt. Okay. Send it down. And send it up. Perfect. Okay, I sure hope this still works, because I feel like it doesn't. Let's copy this. Okay, moment of truth. Actually, not really the moment of truth. What side of the belt does it need to be on? It needs to be on the inside. That's this one. We're putting it only on 1/2 right now to make sure it actually works. And that I did it correctly. Now, yeah, it doesn't look like we'll be able to snake between the 2 of them. Although I didn't necessarily try. Wait, I just had a revelation. Okay, so you know how I said I didn't want to flip it? If we flipped it, we wouldn't have had any trouble snaking it at all. So I guess we flip it. After all that work, I think we just flip it and go the other way, because I think that's just better. Because these can connect. Yeah, that's just better. It has so much less dead belt that way. Well, we're going to make sure it works first. Okay, it doesn't. For some reason. Oh, it's because it rotated twice. Okay, so yeah. Cool. Delete this. Let's pretend none of that happened. That was we did not spend 5 minutes connecting that at all. Right? Nobody saw anything. Right, guys? Now they're flipped. Now there's this weird gap in the middle, but what can we do with that? Should I put plastic in the middle? Is that a bad idea? I think plastic in the middle might be fine. I don't think it really benefits me much, though. Plastic in the middle would be... Well, no, if I do plastic in the middle, I need solid fuel, not plastic. Or I need coal, not plastic. And if I do... If I do plastic in the middle, I need coal to make the plastic, which means I can't have solid fuel. Which means the start time is going to be way higher, because they're actually going to be consuming the plastic, so... Or the coal to make the plastic. So yeah, we should probably not do that. I think we just have the space in the middle. Maybe we put a roboport there, because that's enough space for roboports, right? Also, I am realizing now, we don't have space for roboports anywhere on the edges of our builds. I think we'll just have to hope that we have random underground spots we can put it in, or we just occasionally delete an assembling machine and call it good. Because yeah, we don't have a way to connect the 2 halves of our builds, except when we get lucky and we have like an awkward gap. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Like, we might have to use occasional red belt just to get a longer gap. Like a red belt here and a red belt here would, I think, let us fit a Roboport. But yeah, that was not something I was kind of leaving space for. This is literally the first time where it's a problem, though. So I guess that's fine. Because, like, here we have lots of gaps for Roboports. Here we have lots of gaps for Roboports. Actually, no, we don't. Okay, yeah, no. That's fine. We'll do Roboports at the end. We'll just cut every production by like 2% and say we planned it. I think that's a valid option, right? I mean, it technically works well enough, right? Yeah. Okay, and then maybe I can send this. Maybe I can send the copper down a different side. Yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just like us spending all this time connecting this wrong was fine as well. It's just fine. That's what matters. Denial is very, very useful. Okay, and then these are lined up. How did I line up the backup coal lane? I think I have it lined up like here. The only reason I care about keeping it the same is so that way if I copy it, it's easy to fix. Wait. Or it's easy to mirror if I copy it later. Okay, that one is fine though, legitimately. Okay, so the reason I just flipped them, hopefully it makes it that the coal snake works better. Or solid fuel snake. He's the that's a character in Smash Bros, right? Solid fuel snake. Or Metal Gear Solid Fuel. That's what it's called, right? The full title. Yeah. I know Nintendo. Also, I feel like calling it Nintendo is just feels wrong. I need 200 of these. There we go. I mean, I know technically, like, they're in Smash Bros, so they're kind of Nintendo now. Oh, wait. I see what the problem is. Okay, so how did that one break, but none of the other broke? What? Or did we break more? This one is on a different pattern. That's weird. That's really weird. How did I get off the pattern? Okay, well then. That's an easy fix. It's just confusing. But yeah, keeping on the pattern, especially when it's something like that, like going to a 2-4-2-4, it doesn't save any belts to change the pattern, but it keeps it consistent so you can see where to fix things. So that's why it's worth saving stuff like that. Or that's why I try to keep that pattern consistent. That makes fixes easier and doesn't really have a disadvantage. Okay. That's good. It's really hard to flip undergrounds. Maybe if I use shift. I think if I use ghosting, I can flip them without any fear of breaking. Okay, that helps a lot. That's very useful. Okay, so startup time is going to be horrendous, I imagine, but I think that's always going to be the case. No matter how I do the coal connection, unless I want a ton of splitters and like 3 belts of coal going towards it. But honestly, we don't need that much. Probably. Because while this is getting coal, we'll have another lane also getting coal. And realistically, that's like 2 to 4 belts of coal that I have going into this setup. And I can't like oversaturate it by like 4 times over. Because even 1 belt of coal is technically like way more than it needs for a steady state. Okay, and then I guess we can try to speed it up. But because of the stage mod, we can't speed things up that fast. Also, I'm scared for when we start, like, having sub 60 FPS in the staged mod. Like, it's gonna happen. But it's gonna make testing things really, really slow. We might have to start testing things in sections. I guess, is there a way to, like, disable stages? I don't think that would work. No, I probably don't want to click those buttons. I don't know what they do. Also, I meant to check earlier. We do not have autosaves on. Let's do 15 minutes. I feel like 15 minutes of progress loss is never going to be... never going to ruin me. Okay, so these aren't working. That's not good. Oh, that's because they don't go anywhere. That's fine then. Okay, so let's see if we actually built it right. Because I am curious if I can mirror them onto each other. Mostly. Yeah, I think they're mostly mirrored. There's like weirdness up here, but I think that's because of I copied too much in the bottom. Because like ideally I want to be able to like mirror these. Okay, the only thing that isn't mirrorable, able to be mirrored, I guess it's not a word. It's not a word because nobody says it. The things that can't be flipped vertically, there we go, are the belts. Everything else seems to be fine. Okay, yeah, startup time, honestly not too bad. Because while I've been talking, it's like half started. With like 1 belt of coal, that's very reasonable. And then the steady state the actual consumption isn't that high, so even if this was actually running, the amount of coal it would have consumed is pretty insignificant. Okay, I like this, and this all-in-one connection. We have a lot of room here for entity savings. Right now, this has 700 belt. We can probably reduce it down to 400. 3 to 400. As long as the rest are undergrounds, which is... So I'd say we can save like 300 entities here, probably. Maybe. Maybe not 300. I see a lot that are going to be like partial drags. So maybe 300, 3 to 400. Yeah, let's be ambitious. Let's pretend that. Okay, and then plastic. So plastic is not on a coal grid, so that's nice. Actually, plastic's very easy to connect because it literally just gets 1 belt of coal on the side. It literally can line up however the heck it wants, so the easiest way to do it. Let's line up the belts at the end. Doesn't matter. It gets fuel, petroleum, it gets coal. Okay, there should be a whole belt of plastic. We also should actually be able to do a full belt of plastic here because of the way we have the side loads, which I very much like. Very much. Basically just makes it that we can sideload things and get a full belt as opposed to like part of a belt, which a lot of our builds give. Like 95. I mean, none of them give like that short of a belt. They're just usually like, 5% or something. 5% less max, but usually like 2, which is why we don't really bother fixing it most of the time. Okay, so now that we have this built, the red chip lane is like perfectly sized for this, which I absolutely love. Now we can try to fit this in. So this needs its own coal. And then what did I decide I wanted to do with this? This one needs a coal snake. What I could do, not a terrible option, I could have a separate fuel lane going here. Anywhere, probably through here to kickstart it. And we can also take coal from here. Somewhere like along the middle. Like kind of sideload it halfway, so that way we kickstart the lane with up to an entire other half lane of coal. That will help a lot with the starting time, and it's only going to waste like 10 belt too. So stuff like that I think will be really useful, especially since we don't need this to be a full lane all the time. But the first coal that it's got to get, I'd say, well, we can't go through here. We can't go through here. We can go through the middle. I think we start the coal through here and we send it up. Maybe we split it in the middle instead of snaking it all the way. Because like there's a lot of empty space here. This seems like a really good place to get coal. It's not like there's anything else we would be sending that way. Plastic, let's see. Plastic we send down. Wires we send down. Okay, so with how these are set up now, these are very close to the top, so sending these into the middle doesn't make much sense. And these are really not that far from the top, so I think we just send everything up top. Because this doesn't feel that wasteful. I don't think. This isn't a great way to get the green chips out though. Kind of wish these were on the same belts as each other. Also, why are they? Oh, because they're flipped. Right. Okay, also there's no real reason for these to not be separate belts. Well, except for entity cost, but if we have to have a splitter on the end, say we might as well just do this. Avoid the splitter. Okay, I thought that would make this connection a lot cleaner. It didn't. Okay. What side of the belt? What side? Okay, these are actually on the far side. So we could actually sideload these here. That could work. Okay, I don't hate that. We just need to move the copper cable like one tile up, I think, to make it work. So we can do an underground here. Okay, and then I think things are connected on the wrong side, but I think conceptually that works. We probably want to switch which one is which, though, because that lets us just sideload onto the side of that, which is very nice. Wires, let's see. Can we cut through the middle for wires? Because that would be really nice. Like if we could just go through here. I feel like we can't. No, it doesn't look like we can. We also need to make sure things are connected wrong. We might have flipped all the inserters here in our effort to combine them. Also, do these look staggered? Are they supposed to be staggered? It actually doesn't matter. Practically speaking, it makes no difference. I think inserter count pull count, it also makes no difference. Because either way, you're using like one pull per machine. Unless it goes through the middle. No, the stagger doesn't matter. Okay, so we can keep it. It looks kind of cool. We don't even need to keep the pattern the same. We could just do this to mess with people if we really wanted to, but I don't want to because of the whole that makes it harder for me thing. Like I'll mess with people. I don't want to mess with myself though. I don't really see a great way to get green chips over here. Maybe I should just use a splitter. Does that simplify things? Not really. Maybe if I use a splitter here, that might simplify things. Actually, wait. It almost does. It's still one tile too wrong in the wrong spot though, so it doesn't actually do anything unless we do this. That feels worse. I don't think it has any I mean, it saves like 4 belt. No, like 2 underground belt. I don't love it. I definitely don't love it. Let's just, yeah, this is what it saves. Like 2 belt and like 4 underground belt. That's really, really not much. I do like this belt though. That belt's pretty nice. Also, we haven't connected the fuel yet. That goes in the middle though. Yeah, we're definitely gonna send the fuel through this middle section, so we don't have to worry about trying to connect it through the top, because I think that'll be a mess. And then we still have a belt of wire, right? So this is a belt of wire, this is a belt of wire. Wait, this is a belt of... No, this is a belt of wire. How do we connect this wire? Do we go, like, through? Is that a bad idea? Honestly, it's not. We can very easily have it go through the middle. And then up. I think that's okay. Or we just shift this over one tile. We have the space. If we shift this over one tile, everything gets a lot simpler. But I also like, I like the challenge here. But I think it's not worth it. Let's see. Let's try it. Let's go through the middle. This has to be moved up. This has to be moved up. This has to be moved down. This has to be moved up. That's not that bad, actually. It's terrible. It's terrible, but it's not that bad. That's a sentence, right? A very contradictory sentence, but a sentence nonetheless. Is this worth cleaning up? Because, like, right now, all I see is something that works. At the end of the day, that's what matters. Well, okay, probably works. Aside from the fact that these don't run for some reason. Oh, did we remove the... we removed the accumulator again, didn't we? Yep. Okay. That explains why nothing was running. I was wondering why there weren't green chips. I figured we were just hadn't connected the solid fuel yet. I really hope this gives me a full belt. This might not actually give me a full belt for a while. I might need stack size 3. Yeah, I definitely need stack size 3 for this, don't I? Well, no. Kind of. Technically, yes, but not really. This might need to be a little bit wider though, because, or we need I think we need prod modules and stack size 3 for this to technically work, but it might be good enough. Like if we can supply like 58 with this, I think I'm fine. If it's not 58, I'm less fine. How is it getting? Ah, yes, that's not good. The way we have it set up, the plastic needs to be all on one side. Okay, moment of truth. Actually, not really moment of truth. I don't know how I would test this. I think I actually connected them right. That's fun. I connected them to completely random spots, so I'm very surprised by that. Okay, so snaking the coal. I don't think snaking the coal is going to be possible here, is it? I don't have high hopes for the snake. Because let's see, we can do undergrounds here. That lets us snake it at the end. But then we have to go 1 tile extra. That makes the whole build 2 tiles wider to snake it, because there's no way to snake it inside. I mean, technically I can do this. Okay, this is safe. So this would be an underground. Oh, but then the other one grabs from a corner. Okay, you know, this is yeah, that's technically safe. There's no real downside to it. Other than this pattern is going to be terrible to build, but like it technically works. Okay. I think I like that. I don't really see an option where we can test this in a way that I don't really see a great way for us to test this. Also, these are wrong. I want this one to be over here. There we go. Okay. But yeah, there's not a great way to test this that doesn't require me to build the fuel lane. So I guess we just have to bite the bullet and do it. Okay, so the pattern starts, let's see, fuel comes from the middle. So that means the pattern is going to start here. That's weird. Yeah, we have to do like every single inserter again. And we could move the assembly machines while we're at it, but I don't think we really need to. Let's just make some arbitrary decision that we're going to start snaking it here, which isn't really correct, but it's good enough. Also, I like how many undergrounds we can save. That's pretty nice. Actually, wait. I think if I have them flipped, okay, we can't do anything weird here because this has this pattern, which is very different. Yeah, but I think we can save a lot of undergrounds every other row, which would be nice. Okay, so this goes down. This is safe. Now it flips. Now this one goes down. Wires have to go to a different spot. This can't grab from the corner, so this has to go. I think the whole snaking pattern doesn't work like I think it will. Let's see. Yeah, because these can't grab from the corner. This might be able to grab. Can this grab from the inside? Is that safe? We have to drop like 1 coal at a time to test this. Until we drop like 5 coal. No, this isn't safe. We can't do this. Okay, so no snaking. And then this is even worse. Okay, so yeah, no snake here. What are the other options? I mean, we can snake it still. We just have to go a little bit farther out. Yeah, I think my best bet is to just do the snake like this. Yeah, this is probably the way to go. It only uses one extra tile, which is nice. Very nice. This goes up, this goes down, this goes over. Flip it. Oh wait, how do we snake on the end? We need an extra tile on both sides for this to work. I mean, okay, so I guess our alternative to snaking it is to put coal here. We could do something like this. We don't really do that very often. That doesn't work for the middle, but the middle is easy to snake through. But yeah, our alternative to this snake uses 2 to 3 tiles to distribute coal on the side anyway. So it's not like this is less space efficient. It's just annoying. It's just a bit of a bummer that it's not more space efficient. Like I wanted it to be better, not just kind of like the same, but without splitters. But that's fine. That happens. That's how burner designs work. A lot of them don't work out because it's very tricky to fit the coal lane in. Also bummed that sushi is really not super viable because I feel like there are some cool designs we could have done with sushi. But since sushi requires us to also put every single inserter on logic for the most part, it's a hard sell. Well, good sushi, right? Like the best time to do sushi would be if we could also do self-feeding. But since we can't do self-feeding, we just lose so much of the benefit so quickly. Okay. Honestly, making a new pattern that I tesslated probably would have been easier than this, but I don't know. It's relaxing to flip everything like this. Okay, honestly looks kind of sick. I like it. Now we have this extra tile to work with. There's a possibility that we can send the coal through here. I think that would work. Or the copper cables through here instead of through the middle. Although I think it actually is better through the middle. Like it's more space efficient here. It just feels awful. And then for the coal lane, we can snake that so that way it is a little bit cleaner there. Well, not cleaner, but a little bit cheaper. I mean, not significantly, but a little bit. Okay, and then I wanted a splitter here, is what I decided. Then we can even send this up. This was the thing I was talking about where we can snake this and reuse the fuel. And if we're gonna have a splitter, we might as well reuse this fuel. It's not any more expensive. And then another fuel lane will go through the middle somehow. Don't know how. This is a weird pattern. There we go. Wait. Okay, we can make it work. We just have to use an extra underground. There we go. Okay. So that lets us use this coal and send it both ways. At a steady state, it won't make a difference, but I think it'll help kickstart it, which seems worth it. Kickstarting it for so cheap. Yeah, no, it's definitely worth kickstarting this because this is a lot. This needs a lot of coal to back up. If we can give it an extra like 50% earlier, that would be nice. That sounds nice. And then we do need to copy this a few times though to actually connect it. I wish this was a full drag because that would be very nice. Also, I like how these are all staggered. They don't have to be, but they just kind of ended up being staggered based on how I placed them, and it looks really cool. Like a nice little stair step. Okay, so these are now getting coal. Now, let's see. Obviously, keeping the same pattern, I think outputting on the top is going to be better. Doesn't make any practical difference, but it lets us Lets us keep the same pattern for the undergrounds, which is very nice. Let's do a burner inserter filter and just delete all of them because they're all wrong. Same with the middle section, although we do have to fix the one at the top. And this bottom one. Okay. Actually, I think those ones on the right are already correct. There we go. But this lets us put... Wait, why doesn't this work? Oh, we just have to hold shift while we do it. Duh. There we go. Now, for these, in the middle, I think... Well, should I be grabbing from the top or should I be alternating? Because I could put an underground here. Actually, yeah, we should be alternating. The cheapest way is to alternate. So to actually do this. Well, okay, wait. That makes the coaling cheaper. I think it makes the red belt the same price though, doesn't it? Actually, no, because now, like, either way, each one needs its own set of undergrounds. So yeah, it is slightly cheaper. I hope. I hope that's correct. It feels correct. Wait, that doesn't make sense. No, never mind. It does. It does. I forgot this is 30 long, which is a really weird number. Okay, and then... Wait, none of those work. We didn't copy the right pattern for the undergrounds. I'm glad I built that already. Yep, definitely glad. Honestly, I just need to just undid. I think it would have been faster to just click undo like 5 times. Okay, that seems better. That seems correct. Yeah, and that lets us save 1 tile every underground stretch, which is pretty significant actually. It might not sound like a lot, but that adds up when you have like 60 of them. It's definitely a saving that's worth doing. Okay, now this one we can't save that entity because the other wire is going through the middle, but that's not a huge deal. Now these other ones we can keep on the same pattern though, which is great. Same with the other side. Which, does this work? I think so. Yeah, that should be the same pattern as the middle, right? Yep. Okay, now we have something we can copy. Hopefully we did it correct this time because I don't want to have to redo it. We're going to have to redo it. We're probably going to have to redo it. We usually do. I really don't like how these are staggered. I thought it was kind of endearing at first because it was fun, but no, it just feels it just makes it feel wrong, like all the time, with no actual benefit. And then we have the option of like reverting the red chips on the right, but I don't think that gives us enough. Yo, Jamady, welcome. Thanks for the resub. We're doing the red chip build right now. It's long. Burner inserter, it feels so space inefficient. I think I could have done some kind of sushi, but I didn't want to have to put 400 inserters on Logic to do that, to make that work. That just doesn't seem UPS efficient. Yeah, we're also trying out the stage blueprint mod. The stages aren't perfectly correct, but like they're at least staged in some way. I think we'll have to break a couple of them into 2 stages, but like overall, I think it's okay. Like we have some distinction. That's better than just pasting the blueprint all at once. Of course, our stages are honestly not as bad as I thought. We've just been on this stage for a while. I guess it's only like 2 to 3,000 right now on this stage, which honestly not terrible. The main thing is that the stage isn't fully built, so I don't know if that's accurate. Okay, I was not copying the full blueprint there, so hopefully this works. How did that work out? How are these not copied correctly? They should all be blue. There we go. There we go. I was wondering why they weren't blue. Okay, moment of truth. Is it built right? Because I don't believe it. At least the snake seems correct. We have some more entity savings we can do with the snake, but I don't really want to do that right now. We'll leave that for next time. Considering I don't see inputs from the other side, I think it's broken. Let's see. Yep. Very easy fix though. Now we need 3 per second to go over here, I think. Yeah, a little over 3 per second, which is half of what we're producing. Okay, so we can send just like the middle one. I think the best course of action is actually going to be like loop these around and then send them back down. I think that'll work. Now let's give it an end cap. So that lets us send it up here, and then we can send it back connected on the edge. I don't think it really matters that much, though. The other option is using a splitter. I'm not sure which would be better. I think this one adds some latency, but it wastes less red chips. But I think in the grand scheme of things, over the course of the run, it won't make a difference. So we can just use a splitter if we want to. But this one looks cool. Did I leave enough space for logic here? Did I? I hope I did. We also need to decide will we be using coal or solid fuel? Probably solid fuel. I think yeah, we don't take anything from the plastic lane because it uses all of the coal. Which we actually technically this isn't a full plastic lane. It's like 90% of a plastic lane or 95%. I think we need just like 2 or 3 pod modules to make this actually work. Because basically we're using the coal to feed the inserters, which is like it's probably just like a couple percent of the coal, but we are using up some of the coal belt, some of the coal to move the stuff around, which means we're not converting it all into plastic, which means we don't actually have as much plastic as I'd like. Oh wait, never mind. This isn't a double lane yet. Never mind, we're fine. I was thinking we were producing way more plastic than we are, but no, we're good. I thought we were doing, I forgot. I was originally planning to do more plastic here. Okay, I think we can do the coal. This cannot be mined. Why is that in a different stage? This is literally useless to have it there. Whatever. Yeah, see, the stages aren't fully done considering we have blue chips that need these red chips to actually run in a different stage. Will that work there? I think so. I don't think we barely have enough space to make this logic work. I think we have enough space. It's just pushing it. We have to do something like this, and then get like an input here. Oh, wait, hold on. I think, what if we rotate it? I think if we rotate it, things are easier. Let's move it to a different stage just so we can mess with it right now. Okay, I think things get simpler if we do this. So now we can have a splitter here. We can sideload it. There we go. That's what we want. Now we can attach this to logic. And I think they need to be on the same logic. Yeah, because they're using the same belt now. This won't sideload, right? Yeah, these can't sideload. You can't sideload onto a splitter. Yeah, okay. I was pretty sure, but I was not confident enough. Okay, and then this should be solid. Oh, wait, this one doesn't have any logic. These should be disabled until solid fuel backs up. Okay. So yeah, we need to go we need to go turn this belt to solid fuel. For now, what option do I have? Should I just rebuild it? I think that's the easiest course of action, right? Um, hmm. We have two options. We can either wait for like 5 minutes for it to refill itself, or we can just change the logic temporarily to test if it works. Which I think that one's faster. We'll just change the logic. I need to remember to not forget. That's a sentence. I could have just said I need to remember. I need to remember to change that, but I think it's fine. This also needs a prio. But this should be good now, right? This produces 3.7, plus it has a little bit from those. Okay, yeah, that's enough. Do I want a splitter? Still not sure if I want a splitter at the end. I'm not looping it around, though, yet. So if I do this, I need to make it sure it's actually connected. This is going to drive me insane, isn't it? These are not... These are not, and these do not have the same pattern. It's making building so complicated. We'll fix it. Okay, we're going to do this. Okay. Now I want to copy and paste it, but they don't technically have the same pattern, so hopefully this works. There we go. But yeah, the stagger has no actual benefit. It just makes it very hard to cut and paste things. Now this isn't good. There's not supposed to be coal here, so we're accidentally sideloading it somewhere. I don't know if it's a constant problem or if it is from... if there's like a rogue splitter somewhere, or if we have like an accidental side load. Oh gosh, there it is. Oh, it's from the corner when I was flipping the belts. That makes sense. Let's make it that can't happen. Uses one more tile, but I don't want to break that again. This is such a great song. I'm glad this was I think this is the original Factorio trailer song. I'm not sure. It's also the only album in the song that the only Factorio soundtrack song that really stands out. So whenever it comes up, people ask like what it's from. It's like it's Factorio. You don't remember this from the game? Okay, this should be good. These are running? Yes. Okay, blue chips. Oh gosh. We need to get blue chips out of here. Okay, I think I see a line. If we go down, no. Maybe? What if we go up? No. Okay, this isn't producing a belt of blue chips, right? We could sideload. Like here. That makes it really easy to get out. We just have to be very careful about sideloading things. I don't like that option. Actually, wait, maybe I do? That seems reasonable, right? Like, it technically works fine. Doesn't really have a disadvantage. It might use a couple more entities, but like, nothing I do here will save more than like 4 entities, so I don't think it's worth stressing over and trying to make better. Because it's not going to save like any time. It's not going to make it cheaper. So yeah, we'll actually cut that corner, which is nice. I'm getting better about things that don't matter, ignoring things that don't matter, which is good because otherwise we'll have no hope of getting our time goal or getting this done in time. Okay, these aren't outputting. We literally are not outputting from half of them, are we? Oh no, it's just these top ones. What the heck? Interesting. Very interesting. Hello, Magnus. Welcome, welcome. Is something off here? I feel like these belts should not be this backed up. I'm very confused. Something isn't running. Because these should never look this backed up. Let's do analysis zone. I mean, I guess it's fine. I'm very confused because like grabbing from the sides like this, they should be pretty terrible. Okay, these ones aren't running. That's why. Why aren't they running? Oh, they're still backed up with coal. I forgot about the coal issue. Okay, that makes way more sense. Now we delete this and we'll give it a bit. Yeah, if 10% of them weren't running, that makes a lot more sense. I don't remember if our math was right here. I don't think we're producing a full belt of cables. I don't really have a solution to that though. Because I can't tell what these are limited. These are like a weird mix of inserter and or limited. So it's possible that they have just enough of an inserter limit that once we get stack size 3, everything fixes itself, and I think we're okay. And it looks like it's most of a belt. Is there a way to tell? Is the easiest way to tell like belt saturation to just like do a time test into a chest? I feel like that's probably a reasonable way to test it. We'll run it for, let's see, it's 21:45. 45:20. We'll run it for a minute. See if we get 900 items, or at least close. Because if it's close, it's not that big of a deal. Like if it's 5% shortage, we're good. If it's like a lot less than that, I think it's worth redesigning, but I don't know. We might not even need 56 broad assemblers. Okay, so another 20 seconds. I could have played it for a limited time, but I didn't want to. I always forget this is an option, so I usually just time it. This is only going to be accurate within like 1 second, but that's good enough. Okay, what does that make it? Oh wait, we haven't looked at the number yet. 842. Ooh, that's a lot. That's way short. That's like 93%. That's like a 4% loss. Honestly, that's not that bad. What's 4% of this? That's like one assembler, isn't it? Or no, sorry, 7%. Okay, that's like 3 assemblers. Probably. 3 to 4 assemblers, depending on how close it was to 4. We can live with that, I think. Because it will eventually become a full belt. Also, they don't look like they're running slowly, which means they're still broken somehow. Oh, because they picked up coal, the inserters are permanently broken. Okay, yeah, these are not running, but that's because of the start time. Literally neither of the sides we can use as an example right now. That's very annoying. But it seems to be working decently. This gives us the red chips we need. And it fits really nice. Like, this is a good sized build. Like, this is pretty darn compact. We do have coal coming from like, or solid fuel comes from like 4 different spots, but that basically means we can kickstart this whole thing with up to like 4 belts of solid fuel very easily, which is great because it needs it. It's also insane. This is 1,300 inserters. That's so many inserters. But yeah, I haven't done the math in a while. I need to check. I need to save it. So, I have an estimate for how much I need from. Let's see if I can find it. Here, I needed like 180 science per minute, or 3 science per second. Those are the same number. The way I added like the question mark there made it seem like I was doubting. That's not the part I'm doubting. Okay, so red chip assemblers. For my science goal alone, this is ignoring anything else. For science goal alone, oh my gosh. I don't like this number I see right now. I need 300 assemblers producing red chips. How much do I really need 3 science per minute? Because, like, That's a lot. I know a lot of the red chip assemblers, like, they're not terrible for UPS, and it does produce green chips, so that also helps. So it does technically count towards the green chip goal. But we have 1,000 assemblers right, or 1,000 inserters right here. Let's say this much of them is blue chips. Actually, that's like a third of them. Okay, so that's not that bad. That's 800 inserters for... So we need 5 times this. That's 4,000 inserters for the science we need. Of course, that's just looking at red chips, which is a bit unfortunate. Are you looking forward to the expansion? I am. It seems... I haven't been keeping too much on tabs with the Friday facts, unless they're like a quality of life improvement. Because I don't want to know too much about like the content in the expansion. But I'm very much looking forward to exploring that. I think it'll be cool. Okay, so these are running full speed, almost full speed. I think I can live with this. This isn't too bad. We can probably even cut one of these assemblers, save some resources. If we really wanted, we could put it in a different set. We also have this option, and I think I'm gonna hate it, but we do technically have this option. Oh, I hate this. Okay. We can put a furnace here somehow. There's some vision where we can attach a furnace here and produce more wire and fill out the wire shortage. I don't like it, but it is an option because these are output limited. So we can't just like put a speed module or prod mod in here, which is what I wanted to do. But it just fits so it's so perfectly the right size. I mean, technically, if I shifted this over here, I don't have to redesign anything. So we can do another wire assembler here if I really want to. Of course, I am assuming that green chips are fully produced, and I think these are. I think these are overproduced by like 5%, so those should be fine. Now we should have the copper, right? Yeah, we have the copper. Should I just do another wire assembler? I mean, if it doesn't run, it doesn't run, but I think I want red chips. We're going to save this in case I mess it up, but I'm pretty sure it's as straightforward as just copying this and moving it over like 4 tiles. Let's see. Or 5 tiles, sorry. 1, 2... Wait, let's do both tabs at once. Oh, wait, how is this going to work? We have to do 2 extra assemblers. That's fine. We have to do 2 extra assemblers and they don't run full speed. We can live with that. Okay, this goes, oh gosh, where is it? I feel like we already got, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's how the spacing it needs. Oh no, this changes, oh no. We have to redo the snake on the end to make this work. I forgot about the snake. Unfortunate, but expected, or should have been expected. Honestly, this isn't that much of a snake, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just one more thing we have to do with this fix. Although, this does change where coal comes from in our supplement. Does that cause any problems? Yes, actually it does. Coal now will come from up here, which is not that great. We can figure it out. But yeah, I think we need this early. Go copy this, flip it, and it goes here. Okay, that seems good. I have no idea what this is. Why is there iron on it? Is there supposed to be? Oh, there is. Okay. Interesting. This might work. Yeah, I think technically it works. It should be fine. Because once these back up, it starts running full speed. We could also just downgrade one of them to a stone furnace. Because I think these have more iron going in than they can use. But downgrading to a stone furnace would be a bit too much of a hit, I think. Right? Yeah, it's a bit too much of a hit. It's hard to say because burner inserters. But I think that's overproducing by like 5% right now. Okay, so is that good? I think that's good. Now we copy it and we paste it on the other side as well. That would be here. No, one tile over. There. Okay, now we have to flip everything. Right? Yeah, now we have to flip everything. Okay, so that goes up top, then it goes down. What is this? That goes there. Let's finish it. Let's use Smart Belt if we can. I said that and then I immediately clicked twice in a row, which was not Smart Beltable. What? Hello? That was weird. It keeps overriding stuff when I don't feel like it should be. Don't know what's happening there. Like, it's obviously user error because Smart Belt is consistent. I mean, it's awful with some of the weird aspects of it, but like it is consistent. Okay, so coal is here. Now in there, the snake should be fixed. Yeah, the snake looks fine. We did break wire halfway through. Easy fix though. Now, coal is up here. There is not a good way to get coal over here. What we could do... Never mind, I don't really have anything. I was going to say we can go through the middle, but that doesn't work. We would need belt weaving for that. We could do belt weaving. Belt weaving's not expensive, right? Actually, wait, we don't need belt weaving. Do we? We need one underground belt for that connection. We could also use a splitter right here. I think that's our best bet. Never mind. Splitter doesn't work because now we have an underground here. So now we would need a belt weave. So that literally replaces one problem with the exact same problem. In which case, I'd say we go around. If we shift this up a little bit, shift this up. Yeah, we can belt weave through this. We can also reduce the amount of belt weaving we have to do if we just we snake around, right? Oh wait, I think that's too long. I don't think that'll work. Okay, so we need a red underground here to supplement this. 2 undergrounds. Okay, unfortunate. Not the end of the world, but a little bit unfortunate. The other side just works so much better. Now we can move this up a tile, and now we can supplement an entire belt. And this will just help a lot with latency. That's the whole point of this. I wonder if I can save one of these. No, I can't. I mean, we could save the smart belt. If these are if we sideload these together, we could technically save the red belt if we use a splitter. Because I don't know how much red belt we have at this point, so I'm trying to use not a ton of it if I can avoid it. But I don't know. I don't know when it's going to matter. Okay, and then this almost works. However, this is one tile too high. We need to move plastic up if we want to make this work, which I think we can do. I think we can just switch these lanes. Yeah, we should just be able to switch these lanes. So this goes here. This goes here. Actually, that doesn't do any. That literally does nothing. Because we need that splitter to be here. So that doesn't actually do anything. We would have to do this. I don't think I like this. That doesn't feel... This does not feel better than one underground. You know what? We have enough. Yeah, that added so many entities and had like no real benefit. We'll leave it. Okay, these aren't on logic. We need to add a note to that. Add logic back to blue chips because we have that disabled for testing purposes right now. I just need to do it at the end of the stream, but we just need to make sure we actually remember, because that would be very, very bad mistake to forget. Okay, so we should be getting more wire now. Of course, now we're green chip limited for some reason, which is weird. Oh, this is going too far. I don't know why this one's broken. That one isn't connected to wire. Oh. Well, that's not the problem. Ah, I see. Okay. Does that mean I broke it on the other side? Okay, so they were both broken. Literally, we broke both halves in different ways. That's fun. I mean, I guess that's better. I don't know if that's better. It's different. Is that better? Is different better? I don't, probably not always better. I think we can save a tile, right? Well, we can't really save a tile. No. Actually, the way we had it was actually kind of decent. It was looked awful, but it worked. Okay, and then there's probably some entity savings we can do. Like, that we can save for every... Literally every belt here, we can have it. So we can save about 120 entities there. For the undergrounds, we can probably save half as well. So I'd say we can save about 300 entities in here, and then another... Probably between the two of these, I imagine we can save about 1,000 entities between all of these. Maybe not 1,000, that might be a bit extreme. But 500 to 1,000, somewhere in there. We'll be able to reduce the cost of this by a lot. Well, not the cost, but the entity count. I really hope that our underground production can keep up, because we kind of skipped expanding it with the assumption that I didn't need it, but I don't really know. That's banking on our original underground production being able to keep up, but... Well, we have this one and we have this one. So we do have it produced in 2 spots, but we might need to do an underground expansion right after this. Probably right here. And then maybe even start shipping underground belts and inserters throughout the base. Because that does help a lot with build time to have little underground spots for things that bot use a lot of. Undergrounds, probably like poles and stuff. We could also just have random production, but so yeah, we can either have more production or we can kind of ship them around. And that just makes it that when bots have to grab something, they don't have to go across the entire base, which is, you know, probably got to be like 500 tiles, 1,000 tiles wide. Let's see, how tall is it now? It's 200. It'll probably be like 500 tiles wide. This is probably about half our base. Well, half of the base that matters for build speed, I guess. After this point, I don't think we care that much about build speed, because most of our entities from this point on are probably going to be outposts, but I don't know. We'll see. But that's this is a pretty solid build. So we still need rails for purple science, and we still need the robo frame expansion, which I'm not looking forward to that, because that's just trying to figure out which of these belts we can split off of, and having to figure out if we have enough steel. We might have to take steel from over here, which I think actually isn't that bad, because we have steel right here, I think. Yeah, we don't have to move it that far. So that's steel. We have pipes and gears. What else? Is that everything? Oh, never mind. Oh, wait, batteries. I don't know how many batteries we're producing, but I'm pretty sure this is too much, right? This is 1.2. This is using 1.1. Really? Really? I didn't realize batteries were eaten that fast. Okay. So we might need more battery assemblers, or we could just do speed mods, honestly. I think inserters can keep up with speed mods, right? Yeah. We might speed mod the battery assemblers so we can fit them here, because it would be really nice if we could just kind of double the size of this, like right here. Then we also need more blue science, right? If my goal is 3 science per second, this is 1. So we need to triple our science build. What about this one? We need 50% more for these. Fortunately, military science, we do not need 1 science per second of. Does anybody just off the top of their head happen to know how much military science is used total in 100% run? I don't know why anybody would, but like, I thought maybe someone might know that number. How would I find that? I guess I can add. It's probably like 20k, right? Minions achievement? Maybe there's like a guide for minions that will mention it. You need at least robot follower count 17? No, that's an old one, isn't it? I want to say it's 12 now. Follower, yeah, it's 12. Okay. I guess we can just add. I guess we can just get a rough estimate. So that's 4,000. Wait, that's not the right thing. 1,000? Wait, that's not right. Oh, we unresearched like 5 tiers of it. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, so we can say 1250 times 5. We can say 7,000. That's close enough. That's another 1,000. Let's just say 1,000. Let's just say we're at 9,000 right now. Follower bots. Okay, probably at least 10,000, 12,000. And then I'm assuming these things probably take another like 1,000. So yeah, we're probably looking at like 20k. However, we don't need our 3 science per minute goal for this one. That goal is to get us rocket launches, to get us mining productivity, which I sure hope is a good idea. I am basing a lot of this off of the assumption that once my base stops running, nothing in my base takes a huge performance hit, which I think is possible. Yeah, the nuke is like 5,000, right? That's why I just added 10k on the end. Or is it 10k? What's it called? Atomic bomb? Yeah, okay, it's 5,000. So yeah, it's probably about 20k, maybe 25. Yeah, it's surprisingly expensive, but fortunately, we have 4 hours to research it, so we're good. um, we'll be okay, I think. Because the thing is, the 3 science per minute goal that I have, that is all the sciences to get us to mining productivity. It's to get us 10 extra rocket launches over past, or it's to get us 10 to 15 rocket launches past what a normal 100% run does. And I want to get them before all my outposts go online. So I want to get them like 3 hours past this point. So that's, what's that? 3 science per minute? Or sorry, I keep saying 3 science. 3 science per second, 180 science per minute. So about 10k per hour. Which means I want to be able to get all the rocket launches in like 2 hours, basically, is the goal. That's what that science per minute goal is. To get me all the mining productivities and all the inserter stuff 2 hours after this point or something. Which is honestly not that much. And then after that, I have like 4 hours to just research stuff. Which means we need not that much science after that point. Like, we could probably drop down to like 1 science per minute. But also, assuming, again, once things start idling, they're, pretty insignificant in terms of performance, which is a fair assumption. I think we'll have to do something with buffers towards the end, like maybe during the last, we'll have 4 hours to kill, right? We can probably go manually shut down some of our base, like limit every red chest to 1 stack or something. Because I want to be able to keep building outposts if possible until I'm like 50 to 55 UPS. And then shut off my base. Because I think the base that will produce the outposts in the science probably would allow for 1 to 2 more outposts. I have no idea how I'm going to control that. But it is something to consider. I think my goal will be to have buffers large enough for just a couple more outposts. So then I can shut off my whole base. And then just build 2 more outposts and then we're good. Like probably something along those lines. I don't know. Honestly, we probably don't have to worry about it either. It's not going to be a significant change. It would save like 30 minutes. Okay, that's pretty significant, but it's 30 minutes of me doing nothing, so like it's not 30 minutes I care that much about. But the point is, the earlier we... This looks really bad. We'll have to look at this later. That's really bad. I really hope nothing's broken there. The important thing is we have like 4 to 5 hours to research stuff, which is literally like we have the whole duration of a 100% run to do our research after we have all the researches started, which is why I think we don't need that much larger of a build than this. Like we need to triple the size of it and then we're good. Because I don't think we need our outpost to be maximum right away. Like, because we have mining productivity 3. Our goal is to get mining productivity 5. That's not a huge bump up, right? Like, it's significant in the grand scheme of things. It's not that huge when I'm just getting bases started, so I'm not concerned about getting them that quickly. But yeah, this is bad. These aren't running. Okay, thank goodness. This is a very easy fix. We just rotated the belt. Oh, when we copied it, we didn't copy the belt change. Okay. That is very fortunate. I was really... Wait. That's not right. Wait. How did we shift this over and how is the belt broken now? I'm so confused. I don't understand why this part of it is broken. It's weird to me. The spacing should be the same. We could just sideload it. That's an option. But yeah, I say we just move it over, right? See, is the top working? No, the top also has the exact same error. Okay, that's 14. Honestly, this is a weird split, but it works because these are stone. I think that's the easiest way to do it, to just sideload the one after. Actually, yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah. Now we have a split as like, I think it's like 12 and 10, but it's not using the full lane of copper. It's using a little bit over one lane. Honestly, we don't even need this split here. It just, I think it helps the burner inserters run a little bit safer. But even then, like we could have just sideloaded on the end with the throughput that we have, or the amount of furnaces that we have. Okay, so that's good. I was really worried that we did all of this work and then our green chips were underproducing. I would have been very sad because I thought it was perfect. Also, I like this. This thing has given us a lot of mileage and it works really well. Let's add the logic back. Well, okay, we can't add the logic back. Technically, because there's still coal on the belt. Is coal still being added or is that just backed up from later? I think it's just backed up and it takes like 5 hours to clear itself. We just have to delete it and undo it. I'm just don't want to do that until I know everything's running fully. But I think it's safe enough so we can put the logic back on. But yeah, there won't be coal here. This will be connected with solid fuel. Fortunately. We do have a backup option. We can start producing combinators at this point in the run. Okay. And combinators let us do flexible logic if we really want to. So by adding one combinator to every section that we have this, we can make it flexible to use coal or solid fuel or rocket fuel, but rocket fuel seems dumb. We probably shouldn't be using rocket fuel. Unless... No, the internal buffer for rocket fuel should be the same, right? It probably is. But what if it's not? I think it's only nuclear fuel that will be different. Yeah, oh, it's really bad with rocket fuel then. Yeah, okay, nuclear fuel would be fantastic. Of course, less fantastic when I consider that I would have to put one, that I would need 10,000 nuclear fuel, one for every inserter so far. Yeah, this runs really well. Okay, very happy with this red chip lane. I don't know what this is enough for. This is definitely enough for our purple science. We probably need more module production. We also need to start beacons, but honestly, there aren't that many builds we can beacon. Like, we can beacon red chips probably, and like LDS and no, those are direct fed. We can beacon sciences. Honestly, beacons we don't need a ton of, just in general. I think I fixed this, right? I'm gonna check every inserter though. These are disabled, that's good. Perfect. Okay, and then let's check, somehow these are producing? Oh, they can just make like, that's fun. They can make like 3 red chips. They can make like 1 or 2 red chips each, I guess, before they brown out. That's fun. So we can get 60 red chips before we need fuel. Perfect. Latency doesn't seem that... Actually, latency is pretty high. Why hasn't it started yet? Have we not connected the fuel belt? Because this is supposed to get its own fuel. Ah. I see. We broke it whenever we were flipping the snake around. Okay. Start time for the green chips, though, that's reasonable. Everything's expected to start in like 5 minutes. That's just the fact of burner stuff. Unless you can afford to produce like 10 times the fuel you need. Yeah. That was good progress. Honestly, that means we just got to finish up blue chips. Or these 2 things tomorrow. They're pretty close. The only thing we need to do is try to figure out where to do rails. But that'll have to wait till tomorrow. I'll probably do a little bit of this and then space exploration. It's just we don't have much to do for this, so I figured we might as well do it tomorrow. Well, I'm still kind of thinking about it, or maybe I'll do it. Actually, no, I don't have time today. But yeah, I might do a little bit of tomorrow before space exploration. But that's it for me today. I have not fully decided what meme run I'll be doing on Monday, but I do have one. Did we finish the permanence mod? We did finish permanence, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll have to look through my list. I have a lot of options. Yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.